Let's get nasty on a Friday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. No Jamie Rivers today. Jamie off celebrating somewhere as he heads out of town for Memorial Day weekend. We got you covered from 2 to 6 today here in the Fast Lane. You can always participate in the show. In fact, we encourage it. We love it. We love your participation. So 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. That's how you can reach us via text. If you want to join us in the Snake Pit, that is our Air Alliance team's YouTube channel at 101 ESPN STL. And, of course, you can always leave us a mic drop via the 101 ESPN app. It's completely free to use. And if we're commenting on something you like or don't like, again, you can always participate that way.
Especially if you don't like it.
Especially if you don't like this. Yeah, that's fine.
We tend to get a few
nasty.
of those. Yeah, that doesn't bother us.
Nah.
It's your opinion. We have our own.
So if the rain holds off, and I don't know, I'm looking outside right now, it looks a little nasty.
You hush your mouth, Anthony.
All right, fair enough.
I hope it doesn't come down.
You're going to the game tonight.
I'm going to the game tonight.
This is like your third game in 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks.
Man,
Third game in 2 weeks. Yeah,
You went
fourth overall.
Yeah. You went to 2 last weekend, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Look at
there
you.
he is.
And we got the Cubs in town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Going to be a lot of fun. So, again, hopefully the rain does hold off. A little dicey. Apparently there's some scattered storms moving during game time. Not moving necessarily fast either. So either we get a delay, maybe some stoppage, but hopefully there is a game tonight as the Cubs come to town. If you guys are sizing up the Cubs, they're 27-24. They're 2 games back of Milwaukee, who's currently in first place right now, 28-21. Our Cardinals are 3 games below 500, but they have climbed up in the standings. Yes, sir.
Hour?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, you want to? You care?
What's the problem?
No. You good?
You want me to?
Yeah. I mean, you said hour. I hadn't heard you say hour.
I led the show off with the glasses not too long ago.
I haven't heard you say hour ever this year.
Our Cardinals.
All right.
3 games below 500.
Okay.
Minus 43 run differential.
Yeah, what? You got to do that?
Our Cardinals.
Okay. Well, they'll be hour for me when they are above 500. Sorry, not sorry.
Wow.
We got a text from the 816. Marsh been on them you up text.
Oh, yeah.
He has been.
He absolutely has.
No, I've been on the hey, want to go to the game tonight text. That's the text that I've
free text.
Those are the texts that I've been answering.
Yeah. Marsh is like, yeah, I'll answer those. So if you guys are going to size up the Cubs compared to the Cardinals, let's start off with starting pitching. Still give them a decided advantage to the Cubs. Like if we were to do a side-by-side breakdown, we're comparing the 2 teams.
Yeah.
How much do you favor the Cubs starting pitching over
Well,
the
we can
Cardinals?
you wanna go down the list?
Sure.
Justin Steele, and well, you know what? Let's go Shota Imanaga in Sonny Gray.
I would say so. Yeah.
Shota Imanaga. You gonna take him?
He's been unbelievable.
All right. Justin Steele versus who is our 2? Kyle Gibson.
It's either him or Lance Lynn.
Either one. You choose.
Why don't we go with Lance Lynn?
All right. How do you feel about that?
Lance Lynn versus Justin Steele.
Yeah.
Justin Steele hasn't been as good as he was a year ago. Okay. I also think if you look at some of the advanced metrics, I won't bore you, but he's been bitten by some bad luck here. I think his ERA, which is currently 5.68, it's going to come down based on some of the batted ball luck. So I would still take Justin Steele.
All right. What about Jameson Taillon versus old Gibby? Because he's our number 3 right now.
Yeah, I would take Taillon.
Who is the who do they have? Assad?
Javier Assad.
Over Miles Michaelis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I don't even know who their 5th starter is, but it doesn't matter because we don't either.
They started Ben Brown the other day, but I think they've been kind of cycling through the guys at the 5th spot, just like the Cardinals.
At the 5th starter?
Sure.
Fortunately, we won't get to see all 5 starters, so we only get to see 3.
Yeah.
You think Lance Lynn is our number 2?
I think so.
Yeah.
Not Kyle Gibson?
That's what I asked. I
mean, based on the numbers, no. So Kyle Gibson's got a 3.81 ERA. He's got expected ERA of 5.55. So I think at some point his ERA is going to climb.
Do you think his ERA is inflated because of that game against the Marlins?
Well, that's why all that
Is that
other
the
stuff.
expected?
Yeah, that's why the advanced metrics kind of come in. I mean, Lynn's got a 3.68 with a 4.20 expected ERA.
He just doesn't feel like a number 2, though. Like Kyle Gibson.
You don't have a
feels,
number 2.
Well, that's fair. But Kyle Gibson to
You
me
don't
feels
have a
more
number 2.
like a number 2 than Lance Lynn does. And that's
fine.
that's just my gut feel.
Sure. This isn't a hill I'm willing to die on.
That's fair.
You don't have a number 2 hill, I'll die on that one.
Yeah.
They were essentially the same pitcher, though. Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. I mean, Lance Lynn is 2-2 at 3.6 ERA. Kyle Gibson is 3-2 with a 3.81 ERA. And number of hits, they're about three apart in the hits that they've given up this year.
Kyle Gibson
has pitched more innings.
He has passed the eye test, too.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what Marsh is saying. He's passed the eye test more than Lance Lynn. The innings do matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's
It's why you signed him.
Correct.
It's why the Cardinals told us they signed him. So that's fine. So if you want to flip-flop those two guys, Gibson and Lynn, unfortunately, I'm still taking the Cubs.
So you said, wait, what? I thought you just said the Cards would. But the Cards are going to sweep. I heard you when we were walking in. I heard you mumble.
Oh, yeah, no, they're definitely on a sweep. I'm just saying on paper right now,
Just gotta
as
get
we're
those
breaking
starters out.
Yeah, well, as we're breaking down the opponent here,
Yeah.
we're going with sizing everything up.
Yeah.
The starting rotation is still in favor of the Cubs.
But once you get those starters out, our relievers are much better, huh?
I'll take
I will
the
too.
Cardinals bullpen
I will as well.
over the Cubs bullpen. What about you, Marsh?
For the bullpen? Yeah, I really like the Cardinals bullpen. I think we talked about it before. You just have to get to the bullpen leading.
Preferably with a lead.
Yeah, with a lead, and you feel really confident about that. Now, the offense, I think, is up for grabs. Maybe a full scope, you go with the Cubs, but as of late, I'd put the Cardinals up against the Cubs.
That's a good way to phrase that. As of late, I too would have the Cardinals. Now the Cubs just got done playing the Braves, so you have to factor that in a little bit. But the Cardinals face the Orioles, so I think it's from the start of the season you would take the Cubs. But no, I agree. Over the last 10 games or so, the Cardinals have been productive.
And I feel like this sport is a what have you done for me lately.
I'm with you there.
So I'll take the Cardinals in that aspect.
Defense, I would still take the Cardinals.
But if we're going from the what have you done for me lately, they've been committing errors.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you can't play one
We're
side and not
cherry-picking.
play the other.
You know, I'd rather do that though.
Most of us would.
You know, let's
pick the things that make
let's
us
only look
feel
the
better.
offense
Don't
over the
worry
last
about the last 9 games.
14
and having an
days,
error.
and then the defense, we're going to take the full season.
Yeah.
How
Don't
many
worry about
hills are there to die on?
Plenty. You just pick one.
Depending if you're a cat or not. You know, if
Gotcha.
you're a cat, you got 9 hills
Really?
Okay.
or 8. 8 or
No,
9.
9.
Is it 9?
Nine.
Yeah.
You get 9 lives as a cat.
9
Sure.
lives.
Yeah. I just
And
think-
we all have the eye of the tiger, so I would say there's
Essentially,
9
we're all
hills to
cats.
die on.
So
Yeah.
27 between the 3 of us.
Yeah.
That's good math.
Hey,
That's
good job, man.
Proud of me.
Absolutely. I'm not even going to fact check it. I just believe in you. Period. All right, coaching. Council.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You know,
Carry.
I clearly represent Jordan Walker. Now Matthew Livertor.
Oh.
Victor Scott and Mason Wynn. Who else?
Jordan
What's
Hicks.
Jordan Hicks. He left. He left in free agency. I also have to accept the responsibility of my guy Oliver Marmol.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. I just signed him just yesterday. He's
Wow.
part of the team.
Okay.
You know, the backlash that he continues to get. We were talking, and I said, I've never seen you at bat this season. He said, yeah, me neither. And seen you field 1 ground ball in a game. Yeah, you know what? Me either. Yeah, what the hell? I think it's the players on the field. Ollie doesn't have any errors this year. Last time I checked, does he?
No.
Nah.
I looked at his fan graphs before we came on. I
Ain't
couldn't even
nothing.
find him.
Yeah, I mean either. That's probably because he's in the dugout with a sweatshirt on.
Doesn't even play in the majors.
I
was waiting for that.
See, there we go.
I'm glad.
don't have
I'm
to-
glad Marsh. I'm glad Marsh played text line
You
on that
didn't
one.
have to play in the majors to be a major league manager. Let's make sure we're clear on that. There are plenty of guys that didn't play professional football that are head coaches. Plenty of them.
And good ones too.
And good
quite
ones.
frankly.
Andy Reid was in
Andy
the punt,
Reid.
pass, and kick competition,
Right.
but he don't think he laced them up
No.
on the gridiron.
Kyle
NFL.
Shanahan?
There you
No.
go.
His dad was a coach.
His dad
There
was
you
a
go.
coach.
Mike McDaniel was a ball boy.
There
Yes,
you
he
go.
was.
For Kyle Shanahan at one point. So,
Ironically.
you
Sean
just,
McVay, I don't think played.
No.
Sean Payton played
He played
in college.
He played, I think he had a game or two.
Yeah.
Or a season or two.
but
I should
not
say.
in the NFL.
Yeah, I think so in the NFL. I believe so.
Hell, I don't even think Bill Belichick played.
No, he did not.
No.
Nick Saban?
No.
Nope.
No, he's a college.
He was
football
an NFL coach for
but
1 year or two.
I think it was 2. Yeah.
Didn't work out well for him. I played for Nick Saban in Miami.
Did you?
For 1 week.
How'd it go?
That was interesting.
Can you see why he was fired?
Oh, man, he ripped one of the assistant coaches to shreds. And it didn't work well for adults in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, you can't talk to guys like you do in college, especially back then. Like, NFL guys are, who the hell are you talking to, sir?
I read that book, Saban, kind of the all-encompassing view of Nick Saban, and there was an anecdote in the book where Nick Saban started to get on some of the veteran players defensively, and Zach Thomas, the longtime veteran linebacker, turned around and said, "Shut the bleep up." One of the many reasons Nick found himself in Tuscaloosa.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Those things happen.
Going back to the Ollie Marmol thing, I know there's a lot of people that don't care for Ollie Marmol as the manager for the Cardinals, but I like what he's been doing lately. I know he's been getting ejected from games, but he's stepping up for his players. He's going to bat for him. You said he doesn't bat, right? But I think he's been going to bat for his players and his coaching staff. And I think we're seeing a turnaround from this team, and hopefully it continues.
Yeah, it started when he got thrown out. That's when they started winning.
They did.
Said, you know what? I don't want to watch this crap. You guys sit here and finish it. And they said, you know what? That guy wants us to win.
So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's try winning, guys.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
And lo and behold,
Here
There we go. And Paul Goldschmidt started to swing the baseball
that
bat.
helps.
well, there's actually perhaps 8 reasons why the Cardinals have won 8 of their last 10 games, according to Ben Fred of the Post-Dispatch and STLtoday.com. We're going to get into those 8 reasons, talk about maybe some other things that have impacted the Cardinals in their current winning formula or winning stretch. That's next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Ben Fredrickson of the Post-Dispatch and STLtoday.com put together an article, 8 reasons why the Cardinals have 8 wins in 10 games. Wanted to read off some of these to you guys and then also discuss what other factors play into the Cardinals' recent success. So, as Ben Fred points out, says the number one thing, or at least the first thing he listed, finally the power is percolating. We had this discussion a couple of days ago. Power doesn't have to be the end all be all. You shouldn't sell out for power. You shouldn't try to hit home runs constantly. Mm-hmm. Guys like Mark McGwire and Alex Rodriguez and some of the best sluggers in the game will tell you they never tried to hit home runs. Because when you're trying to hit home runs, maybe you do some of the things that get you into bad habits.
Right.
Like what Jim Edmonds talked about with collapsing the backside, dipping your back shoulder, trying to like physically muscle the ball out by dipping.
Right.
Doesn't work. But when you do have power, and the Cardinals have showed it recently, when the home runs do show up, bless you.
Thank you.
When the power is there, this offense is incredibly more productive. It's hard to refute. Mm-hmm. Now, when we talk about power, I don't want people to start thinking, well, you can't just sell up for the home runs. Again, that doesn't work. But if it's a tool in your toolbox, along with moving runners over, thinking the game, laying down a bunt depending on where the defense is, thinking, having that high baseball IQ, when it's part of the complete picture of your offense, it's a huge piece.
Well, I think we have asked this question time and time again. What is this offense? Who are they? Like, they had almost no power to start the season off. And so if you don't have any power, you're not moving runners over, you're not stealing bases, you're not hitting balls into the gaps, you're not using your speed as an element as to how you're going to score runs. This team needed to hit the ball over the fence to have some success. And I think that has correlated for them to win games, because the article says they've hit 13 homers in the past 10 games, which is the second most in the NL during that time. Mm-hmm. Like, they have needed that jolt to allow them to have some success, because prior to that, it was mundane, it was slow, it was nothing happening, it was no excitement, because you're getting on base and you're station to station,
right,
and you're not driving runners in. And so finally hitting the ball out of the park has helped them in this 10-game stretch.
Yeah, it's difficult to, I mean, you can do it. You could go station to station. I do think that's tough on an opposing pitcher.
This team can't.
But this one can't.
Yeah.
And it's easier. You get somebody on, drive the ball out of the park.
I agree.
If you could do it and you're not getting into bad habits.
Or, have Mason Wynn at the top of the lineup and let him steal second.
Yeah.
I mean, that
could be too.
Works.
Yeah, get yourself, and double works
base.
too in that regard.
I mean, if you can get to second base.
Single sometimes, even with Mason Wynn's speed.
No outs.
Mm-hmm.
He can drive them over. It's pretty fundamental.
No doubt.
Yep.
Since May 12th, that final game in Milwaukee, Nolan Gorman has 3 home runs. Paul Goldschmidt has 2 home runs. Lars Nootbaar has 2. Mason Wynn has 2. Alec Burleson has 2. Nolan Arenado has 1. And Michael Superbad Ciani hit his first home run of his career. That's a pretty long list. Donovan is the only regular in that group. And I know that like Ivan Herrera plays a lot, but based on the games played, the at-bats, the plate appearances, Donovan is the only regular that doesn't have a home run over that stretch.
Right.
So it's not just a couple of guys that have gotten red hot. To me, that's better. When you can, throughout your entire lineup, get sporadic power, you can have sporadic speed. You're not just relying on 2, 3, 4, or the first 4 guys. I think that's huge for an offense.
And they're not relying on one person. Like, they're relying. Right. We're still waiting on the power from Paul Goldschmidt and from Nolan Arenado. When that takes place, I think this team is going to be even better. But they're getting it from different places. Mason Wynn has hit 2 home runs. He hit one. I don't know how he hit that one. Looked like it skipped up there, and what was it, cricket?
Golfed it.
Yeah,
yep.
Just hit it out of the park. Multiple guys are hitting home runs and having success. So if and when your 2 best players come along with the power, maybe you could see this team kind of shooting in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. What happens if that power doesn't come back and these ancillary pieces start to tail off a little bit? Because that's probably going to happen. I mean, it's baseball. You go into slumps and then you get hot. Then you go into a slump and then you
Right.
get hot. But if those guys are consistently not driving the ball and hitting for power, what does this offense look like? And then on the flip side, what happens when they do start hitting for power, but then the ancillary pieces start to tail off a little bit?
It depends on how much things drop. You can't have what you had in April. We saw that. You got way behind, even when you had decent pitching, even when you had great defense, even when you had a great bullpen. You weren't able to tread water. So if you're over that stretch, whether it's a month or 3 weeks or 2 weeks, if you have one of the worst offenses in baseball, like we saw in April, you're not going to survive. If you're more middle of the pack when guys start to cool off, because you're right, baseball is a game of streaks. That's why they play 162 games. They know throughout a month, you might have 2 months of great baseball, 1 month of really crappy baseball, but over time, are you better than every team in your division? Do you outlast everybody? So while baseball is streaky, can you be average offensively while guys cool off, and maybe your pitching starts to pick back up? Because if so, I think you can at the very least play above 500 and stay in this thing. But if it drops so low like you had in April, you're done. You're not going to be able to survive that.
I don't want a team that has to just tread water, though. I mean,
I agree.
I want a team that is able.
Where are we
We're
right
treading
now?
water. Like we're paddling and we're out in the Pacific. Like we're way out there.
At least you're
It's not a boat.
you're starting to make some
Is
moves.
there a boat in sight? You see a boat?
I don't know, but I need a volleyball with a face on it, and that'll make me feel better.
That's what
that would
happened in
help.
April, though. Like you're on an island, you're talking to a volleyball. Things aren't. You think things are good, but they're not.
And
not really
really,
good.
Wilson was the only person there for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally, and now he's not.
And now he's not.
Yeah.
But you're making progress on that
Yes.
boat you made.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
so this is Castaway.
This is Castaway.
Wilson
yeah.
was the
I didn't
one.
realize that
You
until
just
Mark brought
made it.
this
You
up,
just
but-
brought it full circle.
Yeah.
Wilson was the one holding it together.
Yeah.
Holding us together because we were falling apart.
We were a mess.
And now Wilson is not there.
Right.
And we know when Wilson left in the movie, he was able to started making progress.
Yeah.
Started trending in the right direction.
Where are we at right now? Are we hitting like that first
Yes.
big wave? Like,
Yes.
when do we get to the
It's
part?
dark.
It's dark,
It's
yeah.
dark.
When
That
do we get
first
to
wave.
the part where I find out that the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee?
We're a long ways
long way from that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Long ways. Yep. Yeah. Good question, though, Marsh. Keep them coming. Ben Fred, again, in his article, is 8 reasons. He talks about a youth movement. He talks about Nolan Gorman and Mason Wynn, some of the guys that we've discussed. Michael Ciani is starting, he says, and it's working. That's the third thing. They're winning one-run games. The fifth starter conundrum hasn't caused the team to spin out. I think that's a really good point. We've spent a lot of time talking about the fifth starter, Matthew Liberatore. What happens? Who can you bring somebody up? Should you bring somebody up? Should you trust Steven Matz when he comes back? No. We've spent a lot of time, but Ben Fred's right. It hasn't coincided with them losing a bunch of games during this stretch. Number 6, the bullpen keeps delivering. Number 7, manager Oliver Marmol has been doing some good things, smart things, tactical things. Examples include icing an opposing pitcher in Los Angeles with a well-timed question for umpires about the Angels' potential shift violation, getting tossed while sticking up for his guys in games that become wins, sticking with Ciani and keeping Wynn's confidence up during a hint of a downturn before the current surge. Marmol has left some good fingerprints on encouraging stretch of games. And number 8, last one, the Cards aren't stopping to smell the roses. They know they created another big hole, must keep climbing, do it against the Cubs on a holiday weekend, and spark could become a streak. I think you nailed it. I think you nailed all the elements that factor into what we're seeing right now with this current group.
I was reading the Snake Pit. Marshy Stash says I don't know if we're at the part where you get the root canal with the ice skate yet. Ooh. That was bad.
We got a text from the 636 saying
Didn't
the
we already
same
have
thing. I said that happened during the Blues season.
I think that happened.
The root canal with the ice skate was rough. Like,
Maybe that was the Marmol extension for some fans.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, for some fans, for sure.
no, you know what? It might have been Bill DeWitt III with his comments when
That hurt.
That hurt.
It hurt, but it needed to happen.
Yeah, you had it. Did it need to happen?
I don't know. No. Trying to draw the connection there.
I have
Trying to
another
stick with
good
this,
one.
this theme.
I think the UPS, or I'm sorry, the FedEx packages were like new bullpen arms. Just here to help.
Sure.
But
You got to open up
ultimately,
the package, though.
yeah, he never did.
That might have been a lifesaver. What if it was a cell phone in there, fully charged?
There was a commercial back in the day where he didn't open the package, and in the commercial, he finally opens the package, and it's all like fishing equipment. I think it's fishing equipment, and just like survival stuff. And he's like, but I think it was a commercial back in the day. I'll have to find it for you
That's
guys.
really good. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We have What's Trending next.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals are back in action tonight, taking on the Chicago Cubs. First pitch is at 7:15. Miles Michaelis taking the mound, going up against Shota Imanaga. We'll continue talking about Cardinals baseball throughout the remainder of the show. Coming up next, we have What's Trending. We'll dive into some NBA and NHL playoff series. Speaking of the NHL, Florida taking on New York tonight, Game 2 between the Rangers and the Panthers, as the Panthers lead that series 1-0. Pre-game for that one starts at 6:30, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Kerry Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Oh, gentlemen. Well, Anthony, Kerry is...
He'll be in a sec.
He'll be in here in a second. But last night, the Boston Celtics took a 2-0 lead in the Eastern Conference final series, 126-110 against the Indiana Pacers. This series is over, right?
Yes, 100%.
Like, it was over when
it was over when the Pacers blew the big lead.
Blew game one.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't even think that the Pacers win, even if they do hold on.
Yeah.
Because I think I mentioned this before.
You're talking about game one?
Yeah.
Really?
I still don't think they win the series. Yeah. I'd mentioned this when we were talking about before. I mean, the Pacers don't play any defense at all. One of the worst defensive teams. I don't know what the points per game, points allowed per game numbers are, but they have to be one of the worst teams to ever make a conference final defensively. Like the one of the worst teams defensively to make the conference final. So last night they give up 126. On Tuesday night in game one, they went to overtime, but they still allowed 133. Only 16 of those came in overtime. They can't play defense. Offensively, they have more than enough, with Siakam and Miles Turner, although he had a quiet night last night, Halliburton. But this should be a cakewalk for Boston. Quite frankly, I'm a little surprised that Boston has struggled as much as it has to this point. But yeah, no, this is done.
Yeah, do you think the Pacers are a team that are in this position maybe a year or two too early?
That's a good question.
Do you think they'll be
maybe
the same team moving forward? Like, a team that comes to mind is the Detroit Lions. Like, the Lions went to the NFC Championship game last year. Solid team.
Right.
Probably not a Super Bowl team, and they showed that.
Sure.
However, this upcoming year, I could definitely see the Lions being back in the mix because they're progressing forward.
Yeah, they got a really good roster. They're coming into their own. Sure. Yeah, I mean, Kerry can talk about that maybe more than I can. Do you think the Pacers are a team that is? I mean, obviously this is
SOL.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Marsh asked whether or not I thought the Pacers are a team that could be just like the Lions were a year ago, in that they're maybe a year ahead of schedule.
I'm surprised that the Pacers are here at this point at all. And the fact that Tyrese Halliburton hurt his hamstring yesterday, it looks like it. I told y'all hamstrings are some of the worst injuries ever because you just never know, and you can't run full speed. You saw it with OG Anunoby in the Knicks game, in the Knicks series, where he tried to come back and was unable to.
Sure.
I just think, I think they're cooked at this point. I thought Boston was the better team already. I thought that they had the easiest path to the NBA Finals. I don't know that Indiana, the thing that frustrated me, the fact that they didn't win game one, because they had every opportunity to win that game, and you have to win that game.
Yes.
And it's almost like a chain of events that happen after that. Now you lose that game, your star point guard gets hurt in game two, and you're done. Whereas if you win game 1, your star point guard probably doesn't get hurt in game 2, and at worst, you're going home 1-1. And so I'm surprised that Indiana is here to begin with. I don't think that they are a team that is, I don't think they're like the Detroit Lions. They don't strike me as a team
that's building something.
I mean, it's hard to say. They made the play-in tournament and made the finals, and they had a good stretch there, and they have gotten better, but they don't play good enough defense.
Yeah.
They have to press the opposing team because that's really their way of putting stress on opposing offenses is to press them and make them go the length of the court. I don't see this team having the long run or the success that I think the Detroit Lions would have.
So I'm looking at something because age has to factor into this, right? Like Halliburton's 24.
Yeah.
Nembhard's 24. Siakam's 30.
Yeah. I think they have some good players. I don't know.
Turner's 28.
Even with Halliburton, I don't know that they have that superstar.
Yeah.
Like that future Hall of Fame type player. And in the NBA, that is important. Like you generally have to have one or two of those guys to be a championship team. I think Boston has one for sure with Jason. Does Jaylen Brown reach that part? I don't know. I think he's really, really good as well. But
he's like a good sidekick.
And that's so frustrating because it goes back and forth between whose team it is for Boston fans. But they're 1A, 1B. You decide on the night. Jaylen was 1A last night. Jason was 1B.
Yeah.
So he might have been 1C. He might have been 2. But I think Indiana is a good team for now. I think they're going to have to add something to their team, a guy that can really help them.
A dude.
Before we get to the Edmonton and Dallas game, did you see I wouldn't call it a botch call, but a controversial call last night between the Orioles and the White Sox?
It was on the interference call.
Yeah, so
in the bottom of the ninth.
I'll lay this out. The game is 8-6, 1 out, runners on first and second, bottom of the ninth.
And sorry, not to cut you off, but the Orioles were up like 8-2 or 8-1 or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that game should have been done.
Absolutely. But with 2 on, 1 out in the bottom of the ninth, Andrew Benintendi, he popped up, shortstop Gunnar Henderson, he caught the ball. The umpires had called the infield fly rule. And for the second out, the third base umpire, Junior Valentine, ruled that Andrew Vaughn interfered with Henderson on the play. Now, I saw the play. I didn't really see any contact, but it is what it is. What do you think about these umpires now? They're missing calls at the plate. Now they're missing calls out in the field. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I think when it comes to home plate umpires and things like that, I do think we need to give them a little bit of a break. I mean, they're just so scrutinized constantly. We have that pitch. We have that box in front of us. We know immediately whether or not it's a ball or strike. They're dealing with movement. They're dealing with the catcher, the catcher's positioning. They're dealing with their own positioning. I know when they're, if it's a really bad game, at least be bad on both sides, or at least be consistent. Are you calling the high strike or not? I think pitchers are more apt, and hitters for that matter, are more apt to say, okay, you called that in the first inning.
Yeah.
As long as you call that in the seventh, I'm good.
And I got to adjust.
And I have to adjust. I know your strike zone. So I'm a little more lenient when it comes to home plate umpires because I think they get a tough job. When you're out in the fields and it's not a bang play, I give less leniency there. I think you should. I think you got to be accurate.
That's a weird call. I mean, the second base, the guy going back to second base is looking up at the pop fly. He's not paying attention to the shortstop behind him. He's walking back to the bag to tag up to make sure that he doesn't get doubled up or whatever. And I don't know how you make that call. I don't know. That's weird. And to end the game like that, I would
that's
still be fuming today.
Yeah, that's the thing too. To end a game that
it's
way.
almost like the umps had a time for dinner, and we got to just get cutting it close, guys.
They're like, it is the White Sox.
It is
Might as well just screw these guys over, and we'll keep the night moving.
Keep the feet moving. The Edmonton Oilers won Game 1 of the Western Conference Final last night in double overtime. Connor McDavid was stuffed in the first OT by Jake Ottinger, an unbelievable stay stick save, and then he gets the redirect in the second overtime to put the Oilers up 1-0 in the series. What did you see from last night? And are you surprised that the Oilers won Game 1 in Dallas?
I was surprised. I wasn't surprised that it was low scoring because at the board I did have the under 5.5.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
job.
much. Nice job to all you guys too, because I think we all hit, right? Except for Jamie. Jamie had the Stars last night.
Yeah.
I know you hit with Tatum going under.
Yep.
Marsh, did you hit your bet the board?
I can't even remember what I chose.
Fair enough. I think it was an L, and I think I'm in first
I'll go
place
check
now.
right now.
No, I was surprised that the Oilers got it done. I was more surprised that Stuart Skinner stopped 31 of 33 shots, and Edmonton played fairly well defensively. Now, are there certain things, intricacies of the game that Jamie could point out, that certainly I don't see to suggest that Edmonton played a worse game defensively than what I saw? Sure, that could be, that's a possibility, but I was really surprised that one of the key components last night for the Oilers getting it done on the road was Stuart Skinner.
Damn it, I missed it.
Oh, what'd you have?
Wyatt Johnston over 2.5 shots on goal.
And?
He had 2.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
It stinks. Well, are you? Because you're in the lead now.
No, I feel bad for Marsh, but no, I definitely want to win.
All right.
Yeah. So 24-year-old or 25-year-old now, third straight win, Stuart Skinner. He's allowed just 5 goals in that span. So nice job to him. They get it done on the road. Even if they were to lose game 2, they go back to Edmonton tied. That's what you want ultimately when you're in a 7-game series like this. So, I was surprised. What did you see, Marsh?
I saw an Edmonton team that looks like they can hold their own against the Dallas Stars, who were the favorite heading into this series. I think the Oilers have been a team that just seemingly just can't get it done.
Oh, no, I don't even seemingly. I think you're absolutely right. They just can't get it done.
They can't get it done year in and year out. And I think the way that their team is structured now, it's a little bit better than what they've had before. And I think the biggest question for this team will be goaltending. And like you just laid it out there, their goalie stepped up. Stuart Skinner, who has been shaky from here, here and there. And I thought he played a really good game, made some big saves. They killed off a 4-minute double minor to start off that first overtime where the Stars rang 2 pipes. So the game easily could have ended there, and we'd be looking at a team that blew a 2-1 lead late in the third period, and that would be the narrative. But they end up finding a win in Dallas, and it comes from the best player in the world.
Yeah, I think if you're, no kidding, Connor McDavid. I think if you're the Stars, like you said, there's really not many adjustments because you did hold the Oilers to 2 regulation goals.
Right.
You're good defensively. You're good in net with Ottinger. If you don't hit those posts, you do get a win and you're good. So I don't think there's anything to be changed if you're Dallas. But Edmonton actually getting the win was enormous for them.
It was because they had an opportunity. The Stars did the first 4 minutes of the overtime period with McDavid going to the penalty box, right? There was an opportunity.
Yeah, Marsh.
Did you just say that?
Yeah, McDavid. The double minor.
That's all right. Yeah, with the minor. You're good.
I like to repeat things.
That's okay.
Hey, you saw it too.
I did see it.
Maybe someone just turned
it
the
on.
radio on.
Yeah, they heard me say it, but why she said it first.
That's
and
right.
then they're like, Kerry, hockey guy, knows what he's talking
Damn
about.
right.
Absolutely.
Just reiterate what Marcia said.
But you're right, though. That was a key.
that was a key moment, right?
I mean, Carey through Marsh, you guys are both right.
Yeah.
That was a huge opportunity.
Thank you, Marsh, for
It's like
saying that first.
Yeah.
dash Michael Scott, dash Wayne Gretzky.
Right.
Or maybe it's the opposite.
Yes,
probably.
Absolutely.
Well, you're an office guy.
Yeah, you miss
100% of the shots you don't take.
You don't take. Yeah. Michael Scott through Wayne Gretzky and Michael Jordan. Yep.
Oh,
all right. Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We talk a lot about marrying the system to the quarterback, but what about marrying the coach to the player? We're going to get into that next on 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We talk a lot about marrying the system to the quarterback. So, for example, Brock Purdy is a perfect example of that. Somebody with the excellent footwork and the accuracy between the short game and the intermediate game, like perfect scenario. Now, Brock Purdy isn't somebody that's going to elevate everybody around him. You know, he's somebody like Jared Goff, where you have to have that pieces to support him. But you see what he can do when he's in the right system. Jared Goff, who I just mentioned, another perfect example of marrying the system to the quarterback, build around, you're good. Like Patrick Mahomes can play in any system and make it work.
It helps that he's in Andy Reid's
It certainly
system.
does, yeah. Tom Brady, though, was the system.
Yeah.
It didn't start out that way, but eventually it became the Tom Brady offense, essentially. But, Marsh, you were talking about a situation with Chris Knobloch, the current Edmonton Oilers head coach, and he used to be Connor McDavid's head coach for the Erie Otters in the OHL, and led the Oilers to a 46-18-5 record in the regular season. And now the Oilers are 3 wins away from a Berth Cup final, as we talked about in the What's Trending segment. They won last night. So how important is it, maybe, or is there something to be said for having the right coach with the right superstar? I think this is kind of interesting because you've seen examples of it working, especially with that quarterback OC/head coach relationship. But I don't know if it always works in other sports. But should it? Like LeBron when he went to Miami and had Eric Spoelstra. Oh, geez. Eric Spoelstra. Excuse me. That it should have worked because you had a head coach, very creative defensively, somebody that really maximizes the talent around him. But was he the right guy for LeBron?
I think the best coaches are the ones that can see what you do best as a player, and that's what the hell we're going to do. Like, you don't make the player fit into your system. You fit your system into the player, especially if they're a star player. If Connor McDavid, if they are LeBron James or Tom Brady, whoever that superstar is, you know what? You do this really, really well. Lamar Jackson, right? We're going to do what you do well, not what I want to do, because you're the one that has to have success. You're the one that has to understand what we're trying to accomplish, and you're the one that has to succeed for us to succeed. So if I'm the person that, no, we're going to do it my way, those, to me, the stubbornness of a coach to say, yeah, this is my system, this is how I want to do it, well, then you probably should recruit players or evaluate players, develop players, hire, sign players that fit that mold.
Right.
If you don't have those players on your roster currently, you better change and shift how you do things, or you're not going to have a job.
I couldn't agree more. It's kind of like Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh found Joe Montana.
This is what you do well.
I could see.
I can have success. Let me figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's what you do well. I know what your limitations are, but here's what you do well, top to bottom. Kind of similar to Brock Purdy, like tremendous footwork, tremendous accuracy. Bill Walsh wanted somebody that can put the ball left shoulder, right shoulder.
Wherever it needed to be.
You needed to be a sharpshooter in Bill Walsh's offense, and that is what Joe Montana was.
Right.
But you're right. Walsh knew he needed that out of a QB. You don't draft anybody and say you have to fit this.
That. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe it's more of an understanding of what system you want to run, what philosophy you have, what identity you have, and then finding the right players.
Which is also why you have a coach like Bill Parcells that gets frustrated and said, if I'm going to do, the cooking, I need to buy the groceries. Because you want me to put together this great team that can do all of these things. Well, let me find the players that fit the role of what I'm trying to accomplish. And if those two things, the GM and the head coach / manager relationship has to be outstanding.
Yes,
they have to be on one accord, almost same brain, same wavelength. They have to understand one another, because if not, if you're telling me, Anthony, you're the GM, I'm the head coach, but you get to pick all the players that I have to coach, we're going to have a problem if we're not on the same page, because I need to know what you're thinking. More importantly, you need to know what the hell I'm thinking, because you need to know how I want to help this team win. And so, you find your players and you have success. If not, good luck.
Can it be flipped where the coach implements something within their system that elevates a player to become a superstar? Like, I think of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, drafted in '84, right? Great player, obviously, coming out of UNC.
I don't know what evidence you have for that, but go ahead.
Oh, Anthony,
He was okay. He
I
got
watched
cut from
the
high school,
movie
though.
Air, so I know everything. No, I'm kidding. I did watch the movie, though.
He did
But
get cut from his high school team. Let's
He
remember
did.
that.
But
His varsity team, right? Isn't
Yeah,
there something
he
with
was a
that?
freshman.
He was a freshman.
Yeah, he got cut, though. So he's not that great, Marshall.
But
allegedly.
the
Well,
Bulls,
that was the first chip on the shoulder. It was phenomenal.
the Bulls did not have team success until Phil Jackson became the head coach, and Phil Jackson is known for the triangle offense.
Right.
Could that have elevated Michael Jordan to be even better than what he was? Now, I don't know the answer to that, but
Well-
that's like the flip side of it.
It kind of goes into what Kerry just said about Mahomes. Mahomes playing in Andy Reid's system.
Mm-hmm.
I said Mahomes could play in any system. I think I'm right, but Kerry is you nailed it. Does he have 3 Super Bowls now if he's in Chicago?
Probably not.
Has he gone to 3 Super Bowls? How many? He's got 2.
He's won 3.
He's
No,
won 3.
He's
or
won 3.
4.
He's been to.
He's been to 4.
Has he been to 4?
Yeah,
Yes.
because he lost to Tampa.
Yes.
Beat the 49ers
Twice,
and
beat the
beat the
Eagles.
Eagles
Okay.
once.
Should have been the 5, but
Yeah.
Yeah. D
So
Ford jumped off sides.
yeah. So 3. Does he have 3 Super Bowls?
No.
In Chicago.
No.
probably not even in the playoffs.
Playoffs.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting, right? But I still think Mahomes is a great player.
Right.
It gives me pause to
He's
say,
Justin
does he have
Herbert.
1? Maybe. Yeah, maybe he's Justin Herbert.
Good talent, very talented, Pro
Yeah.
Bowler, but probably not. I mean, people, the thing that bothers me about people when they talk about Andy Reid, they act like he wasn't a really damn good coach in
Right.
Philadelphia. He went to 4 NFC championship
He
games
only
in a
went
row.
to 4 NFC
Only went
championship
there,
games
made
in a
it to
row.
1 Super Bowl, lost that one, but they were always a really, really good team. Just could not get over the hump. And now he goes to Kansas City and gets this elite quarterback, and he has great success. So
He had success with Alex Smith too. That's the funny
exactly.
part.
He's had success
Yeah.
his entire tenure, his entire time being a head coach.
But
so.
did he need a superstar to ultimately get him to that?
Yes.
And not that like
And credit.
Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens, like those guys were
No, but you're right.
solid players.
He needed his guy. And that's why
Yeah.
they snaked Sean Payton with the Saints to go up and get Mahomes at 10 when Sean Payton wanted him at 11. So, yeah, I mean, look at Sean McVay. He got Jared Goff to a Super Bowl. He knew he needed just a little bit more out of his guy. They made the trade for Matthew Stafford, won the Super Bowl that year.
Yes.
So there's kind of a
Finding
yin and yang.
finding the right pieces to what you want to do,
Yes.
you will have success.
So overall, it sounds like Chris Knobloch needs Wayne Gretzky to win the Stanley
Win it
Cup.
all. Yeah. Now he does have Connor McJesus, but
Yeah.
He's not bad.
No, well, maybe he'll win it this year. Never know. I don't think so, but it's fast. I don't want to win
It's a
ESPN.
good Panthers team on the other
It
side.
certainly is. They play tonight. Does your mind change on spending if the evil empire says, yeah, you know what? Spending doesn't always equal success. It's an interesting thought. That's next on 101 ESPN. 3:04, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalton or Jamie Rivers today. Jamie is headed out of town for the holiday weekend. We appreciate you tuned in. If you are driving to some destination, going to a lake, going somewhere, appreciate you listening to the Fast Lane here.
We do have one listener from the 314 that texted us earlier saying, let's go, boys, celebrating Memorial Day weekend, new job, some good Birds baseball tonight, and a road trip listening to the Fast Lane on the way to adopt a new cat down in Lafayette, Indiana.
All right.
Fast Lane boys up.
Thank you. Yeah,
appreciate
heck
it.
yeah.
Drive
Let's get
safe.
nasty, huh?
Drive the speed limit. Be careful. It's a holiday weekend. Sometimes people are out there having a beverage or two behind the wheel, and let's make sure we get home safely, get to our destination safely.
I'm not
Buckle
worried
up.
about you. I'm worried about the other guys.
Yes,
So just,
yes. Be safe.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Have fun, but be safe out there.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Hal Steinbrenner of the Yankees says that payroll, the Yankees payroll, not sustainable. And the big discussion is about Juan Soto, whether or not they're going to pay Juan Soto, whether or not they're going to increase their payroll. They just got done paying, Aaron Judge before last season. Obviously, the Yankees have always been a team that they've spent big. Soto previously rejected a 15-year, $440 million contract by the Nationals. That would have amounted to $29.33 million per year. Rejected it, kept playing. He is having an incredible season right now. He had a 2-home-run game a couple of nights ago. He could make $41 million per year. Like Judge is making 40, Garrett Cole is making 36, Stanton 32. Soto could be making 41 per year when it's all said and done.
He just ain't going to make it in New York, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't know. So this is what's interesting here. So Hal Steinbrenner talked about not being able to carry that much salary and still compete. He goes, look, I'm going to be honest, and I'm getting this from The Athletic. Look, I'm going to be honest. Payrolls at levels we're at right now are simply not sustainable for us financially. They wouldn't be sustainable for the vast majority of owners, given the luxury tax that we have to pay. We have a considerable amount of money coming off. We didn't have a whole lot of money coming off last offseason, which is why we're at where we're at. There was another quote at some point where he gets into the, basically paying for your roster and saying there's no guarantee if I pay $400 million that we're going to win a World Series. Now, if the evil empire is saying that, what do you think about teams like the Cardinals?
Well, you ain't got a chance. Because if they're saying that, and I wonder,
or do you? Does it?
When I say you don't have a chance, I mean you don't have a chance to spend that much money. You're not going to spend that, especially if the New York Yankees are finally acknowledging, spending all this money isn't that great. But I wonder if the reason why that is coming to fruition, or why that light bulb finally went off, is because they haven't won a World Series since 2009.
Right.
When you win championships, your organization is different. You're making more money. You're generating more funds from different places. And so the money you're spending probably isn't as much. But when you are not a championship organization for that many years, you're probably missing out on the money that you're accustomed to making on top. Mm-hmm. And so now you're saying, yeah, we're paying all this money. We're accustomed to it, but it usually generates championships.
Yeah.
And if we're not able to get a championship, then we're not able to continue to sustain this amount of money year after year. Now we're bleeding money instead of spending this money and recouping it in other avenues because we're winning. Now we're unable to do that, and it's not sustainable.
So this is what Hal Steinbrenner said. I referenced this quote. Here it is. What I always say to you guys, like a broken record, I don't believe I should have to pay $300 million in payroll to win a championship.
Does he always say that?
Apparently, he says it a lot to
the New York media,
the assembled media.
How many years has he paid $300 million to try to win a championship?
That I don't know. That's a good question.
How many years in a row have they been well above $250, $300 million?
Let's take a look here, Kerry.
That would tell me that clearly you do think you got to spend that money to win a championship.
So this year they're paying $305 million.
Okay.
That's second to the Mets. Last year they paid $278 million.
Okay, that's
which was second.
Barely.
In 2022, they paid $252 million. $205 million in 2021. Obviously, we're talking about inflation and things like that. We're going backwards. But bottom line is, as inflation increases and as salary increases for your top players, what he is saying is, I shouldn't have to pay over $300 million to win a championship.
Especially if I'm not winning a championship.
Exactly. I actually don't blame. Like, nobody's going to feel sorry for any owner.
No.
But so don't misconstrue what I'm saying here. Misconstrue. But when you look at this, he's not wrong. Like, what am I paying the GM for? What am I paying the president of baseball operations for? If we're going to win the same amount or damn near close in the regular season to teams like the Rays,
Right.
who have a fraction of my payroll,
Why?
or if you're the Cardinals and the Brewers are paying a fraction of what you're paying, and yet they're kicking your ass, at some point you have to look at the president of baseball operations, GM, say, hey, what do you say you do here?
I think the Yankees, though, pay for the names. Like the name brand players. Like
That's 'cause what their fans
can't
demand.
Exactly. The same thing with the Lakers. There is a standard, like you have to have that player. You have to have that name. And I do feel like the Cardinals used to be kind of in that mode or are in that mode, but maybe have shifted away from that just a little bit. But having a Hall of Famer or two or three, that's the Yankees brand. Like they have to have those players. Same thing with the Lakers. They have to have future Hall of Famers on their roster because that's what their fan base is accustomed to having.
Sure.
And when you have future Hall of Famers, you got to pay them $40 million. Right. Like the Rays don't have to pay that money because they might not have future Hall of Famers, or they don't have.
They're going to trade them.
They're going to trade them away.
They're going to wind up in jail.
Oh well, why? What did Wander do to you?
He didn't do anything to me, but unfortunately, I think he did allegedly a lot of things to other kids.
That's ridiculous.
Which is not great.
Is it even allegedly?
Is it alleged?
I'm going to say allegedly anyways, just to be safe. Yeah. You know, like allegedly OJ did what he did. You know?
That is alleged. We can go there. He was found not guilty. You know,
for that
double jeopardy. Can't try. Well, he can't be tried again either way.
Yeah. No, he's not. Yeah. He's going to. Never mind.
Is that a good movie?
Double Jeopardy?
Double Jeopardy?
It was a good movie.
It was fine.
What's the lady's name in there?
It's the
lady
actress from Kentucky.
The Kentucky.
Oh, I can see her
Wildcat
face.
fan.
Yeah.
What is her name?
What is her name?
The text line will help us out.
What's
They always do.
What's her name?
Oh, I can see her face.
Is it start with an R? No.
I feel like it starts with an R. What is her name?
Come on, text line.
Is it Ashley
Judd.
Judd.
Yeah,
It doesn't start with an R.
No. There's not even an R anywhere in her name.
Nope. Nope.
I was feeling like a Rebecca.
I did too.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe it's her middle name.
Ashley Judd. Thanks. Something Judd.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Ashley
314.
Judd. Yep. Anyways, yeah. Not a horror.
You should
movie.
watch it. It's a good movie.
Looks like it got a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, there
That's
you go.
not great, is it?
I don't know.
No. I think it got to be
I mean, out of 100%? No. Now, that doesn't mean the movie's not great because sometimes movie critics are
Absolutely.
looking
They're a
at
little-
different things
they're a
and the
little tougher.
audience rating
Sure.
could be higher.
Sure.
So,
What do they know?
Yeah.
Movie critics.
I know a lot.
Okay.
Actually, I actually don't know. It's kind of like us. Like, what do we really know? It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. You have a question, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line. Sports 6 back next.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is now.
All right, time for the Sports Six Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Kerry Davis, Anthony Stelter, Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Question number one.
First question comes from the 314. Could Alec Burleson be better than Jordan Walker in his career? He doesn't have all the hype, but he did win batting title.
Yeah, there's always a possibility of that. I think this goes back to the conversation that we had before, Kerry, about draft projections.
Yeah.
You know, or draft, not draft projections, excuse me, but draft
Expectations.
Status.
Yeah.
If somebody's taken in the first round, you automatically come with high expectations. Right. You're a first rounder. Now, in the NFL draft, I think people, like fans, have more opinion, or they lean on all of the commentary to make their assumptions. So if a player was taken in the first round that nobody expected him to be a first rounder, and everybody's surprised, and how could that team do that, and blah 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 blah, then I think the expectation's a little lower.
Right.
But in Major League Baseball, when the commentary isn't like it is in the NFL, Jordan Walker's taken into the first round out of Decatur High School in Georgia. He's automatically going to come with high expectations. He's a first rounder. He's a high schooler. He's 6'6", and he's going to be on a lot of people's top draft, prospects list.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So the expectations are that he's going to perform at an exceptionally high rate. That doesn't mean, though, he's going to have a better career than Alec Burleson just because he was taken there.
And I mean, when you look at the intangibles, I think Jordan Walker has more. He's bigger, faster.
Yep.
Maybe not stronger. Burley is a healthy man. But just the potential, I think, is greater for Jordan Walker. But that does, as you said, doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be a better player.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, who can hit a ball on a round bat better? And
right.
That's essentially who's going to be the better player.
There you go.
Question number two.
From the 661, with the team budget talk, should teams be getting more creative with player contracts? Could smaller...
LA Dodgers.
That's true. Could smaller per-year contracts over longer periods of time or more incentives help keep budgets more performance-based and allow teams to spread around the money to more players? Curious to know CD's thoughts, having been a pro player.
Or just defer the money like the Dodgers did. We'll pay you everything after you're done. New York Mets, Bobby Bonilla. Like, why not? Keep our
payroll
in
a little
check.
low. Right.
And we'll pay you on the back end. You okay with that? I would be. Mm-hmm. Especially if the interest is added on, buddy.
If the interest is there, great.
You telling me you're going to pay me how much for how long with interest? Oh,
yeah,
sure.
Deal. Keep
Sign
kicking
me
that
up.
thing. Yep.
Kick it down the road.
Kind of safe, too.
It really is.
Get that paycheck coming in.
When you retire,
Yep.
We definitely would appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Like having money when you're done playing and no longer receiving checks and you just, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Thank you. If they wanted to be creative, that would be one way. I don't think players would have incentivized contracts, especially in baseball. I mean, the incentives are cool, but you watch NFL, they want to get their money guaranteed. They want as much money up front before they step foot on a football field. The incentives are based on, guys that are kind of prove it type of deal. So incentives are cool if you have to have that, but if you can get your money guaranteed, what the hell I want to work for it for?
Question number three.
This one comes from the Snake Pit from Tanisha. Which do you think is the most exciting to watch? Major League Baseball, NHL, NFL, or NBA playoffs?
Playoffs?
Say that again.
Which of the four major sports essentially has the best playoffs?
The best playoffs
to watch.
Look, I'm a huge football fan, so I'm gonna go football. I watch every down of every playoff game in the NFL. There's also fewer of those. From an exciting standpoint, it might be the NHL. Like the NHL playoffs this year are incredibly exciting. So I'd go NFL 1 just because, again, I love football. Beyond any other sport, I would go NHL playoffs 2. Baseball is
It's
great.
right. It's right.
But you need
Baseball's
your
underrated.
but you
I
need your
was gonna
team in
say
there
that.
too.
True.
I don't know that you do.
Oh,
Because I don't know that
I
you do.
disagree with you, Kerry Davis. You sick.
I mean, I don't know that you need your team to be in the playoffs for baseball. We talked about this in the past. You get the day games.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
You get to watch day baseball,
Yeah.
and you get, it feels different. Playoff baseball feels different.
Yep.
Like because you got 162 of them. You can miss 10 games and still be okay.
You're right, yeah.
With baseball.
It gets ratcheted up big time.
Every pitch matters. Every at bat matters. Nobody is. It feels different for baseball once playoffs hit.
Right. I agree. Yeah, no, it's a good call.
Yeah, like
You got me with that day game stuff.
Oh yeah,
the day
games are
Who
unbelievable.
doesn't
They're
love
gripping.
that?
I love them.
Who doesn't love
Day
that?
sports, awesome.
Oh yeah.
especially when you get to host a post-game show after game one of a wild card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that's fun, especially
If they
when
win.
your producer / co-host is just walking back and forth, back and forth,
Was he-
melting down.
Is that what he was doing?
Melting down.
You're
I
a
was
live and die with every pitch
I was
kinda
trying
guy?
to reassure
yeah.
Marsh that everything was going to be fine.
You know what? I'd actually take that moment. I would love to be in that moment again.
That's why they lost last year,
because
like they did.
Because Marshy, they knew they couldn't give Marshy that.
The fans,
He
they knew
couldn't-
they said, you
Didn't
know,
believe.
if we just lose like we do, if we just have a horrible season, fans like Marsh will say, just give me the loss in the first round. I just want to see my team in the playoffs. And they're like,
I
okay.
don't want to see him lose, but I'm
just saying, Marsh.
I'd
Living
go
and
back.
dying.
I'd go back to the pacing.
I'm just saying.
I gotta get my guy Michael Kaiser. We were watching the playoffs a few years back when I was doing radio in Champaign, and he was the same way. I was like, dude, you gotta calm down. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. He's like, no. It's like, hey, it's not. Just breathe with me. We're at the bar watching, and I'm like, come on, it's
Yeah.
okay. Like, CD, it's not. Like, it is. It wasn't. It didn't ended up not being okay.
No.
It's hard.
Dude, maybe you felt this way too, but, and maybe not, because it sounds like, your buddy, you're probably similar age. But with me, what happened that day, when Marsh was when he was so distraught, he thought that, the team was folding and everything was going sideways. I immediately I didn't realize this, but I went into dad mode. I did. I looked at him, I go, hey, man, everything's going to be fine. Look, Harper's going to strike out here. Then he walked or something, and I'm like, you know what? Hey, it's fine. Listen.
And it blew up.
Helsley's going to get this guy out and that guy out. It's set up. I know this Phillies team stunk during the end of the regular season, Marsh. I watched. I went into dad mode trying to help him, and the Cardinals just crapped all over that.
You know what, though? Ask Ferrario. It might have been even worse the year before, because at that point I was working the Blues game, what Grant does, and we had a pre-season game when the Cardinals were playing the Dodgers in that wild card game, and that might have been even worse because Alex Reyes trotted onto the field, and I looked at Ferrario. I said, "This game's over." Boom!
Oh.
Taylor hits the home run, and
Yep.
I mean, Ferrario was fired up too.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And
man.
I was
tough-
saying,
that was a tough
fire Mike Shell. What the hell are we doing?
There you go. You got your wish.
Yeah, now,
See?
It was you.
I guess it was me.
Your
Yeah,
fault.
it's all my
You put
fault.
it in the
Sorry, St.
atmosphere.
Louis.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
Question number 4.
From the 314, is City SC going to step up this year, or was the first year excitement a one-hit wonder?
No, they're absolutely going to step up this year. That was not just a one-hit wonder. We're talking about a team that understands how to build a winner. That wasn't a fluke last year what they did. Opponents are also going to circle them, realizing that this is not just some, last year expansion team. This is a team that is already built to win. They're already ahead of the game here. So you get opponents that are going to focus in a lot more on you, trying to pick apart what you do. You got to deal with injuries and, poor player performance, all that, just like everybody else. But no, I don't think it's a fluke. I trust what City is building from a front office standpoint and their coaching staff. The players are solid too.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Thank you.
Question number 5.
I feel like we've had this question before, but from the 314, would you rather play 18 holes with Tiger Woods or win a major?
I would rather win a major. I don't care about playing with Tiger Woods. Yeah.
How much money you get for winning a major?
A lot more than playing alongside Tiger Woods.
Okay, what if it wasn't a major?
Right.
What if it's just like a normal tournament?
No, I'll win the tournament. I want to win. I don't care playing with Tiger Woods.
What? I'd love to play with Tiger. I think it'd be awesome.
I mean,
I want to win. I don't care if it's the
I just think
dump truck open or
yeah,
It's called the waste management.
The waste
Act.
because if
management
I'm
open.
able to win
Dump
that one, then
truck
maybe I'm already into the next one.
Yeah.
And I'm rolling.
Exactly. I'm feeling it.
The hell we talking about? I
Right.
keep winning.
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah. I'll meet Tiger at the Masters.
I win one tournament, CD. Here's
Nah.
my mindset. I'm going to beat Tiger.
There you go. Yeah.
And I don't mean beat him in the next tournament. I mean his records.
all of them.
Like, that's the mindset I'm in.
Good luck with that.
Question number 6.
I think we're on 6. Maybe I skipped one.
I might have.
Whatever.
That's okay.
We rarely get to 6. From the 636, especially in one segment. How many games will Mizzou win this year after losing Cody Schrader and many starters on the offensive line and defense?
They still have a lot of, losing the defensive players, I think, are a big deal. Obviously, losing Cody Schrader, kind of the heartbeat of your team, that certainly is a big deal as well. But they're returning essentially their passing game. The coaching staff, offensively is going to be intact. I do not think their schedule is that daunting.
It is not.
Which is a huge factor in all of this.
Murray State, win. Buffalo, win. Boston College,
Win.
Vanderbilt,
Win.
win.
So that's what, 4?
First 4 games are at home.
Okay, that's 4.
Texas A&M,
Winnable.
win. UMass,
Win.
hell
That's
is
5.
Where the hell is UMass on the schedule? Auburn,
That's winnable, especially
Alabama.
at home. We'll see.
I
Like
don't know
Alabama's
what
starting to have
Kevin
the
DeBoer's gonna
talent
be.
and all that, but yeah.
I don't know what they're going to look like.
That's-
I'd say a win.
I wouldn't put it past Mizzou to go into Tuscaloosa and win that game. I really
Oklahoma.
wouldn't. Oklahoma, I think, is winnable. I'm saying winnable compared to win on some of these. Like the Auburn game, that should be a win, right? But
Yeah.
Oklahoma, Alabama, we'll see.
South Carolina,
That should be a win.
Mississippi State,
That should be a win. But those are 2 road games.
Arkansas.
Win.
You got them undefeated. There you go. Asked and answered, Marsh.
I didn't say they're going to go undefeated.
And you
There we
did.
go. But I do
you said
feel it.
winnable, win, winnable.
I think
winnable,
every
win,
game
win,
on their
win.
schedule.
Win.
I think
Mason?
every game on their schedule is winnable.
There you go.
I have
Undefeated.
not felt. And if you say, "Well, isn't that the case every year?" No,
No, hell no.
no. There are games a year ago where I said, I had them losing 4 or 5 games last year when I looked at their schedule.
Just got them going undefeated and being the number 1 seed in the college football playoff.
I don't. Just stop.
You heard it here first, ladies and gents.
Your toughest games are going to be Alabama, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Auburn, and I'm saying this in order, and then like South Carolina. I think the games that are going to decide for you, obviously Alabama in Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, the home game against Auburn, and the road game at College Station. Those, I think, your game changers there.
All right, so I did skip over question number 5. I went
so
back
go
and
back,
looked.
yep,
I don't want people to feel like they're missing out on question number 5.
We do
so
not want to skimp on this.
Question number 5.
there we go.
Nice.
The Snake Pit is talking about tequila and Gatorade. I wanted to ask you guys, what is your favorite flavor of Gatorade?
Oh, the glacier cherry or whatever. The
Glacier Cherry.
Glacier Ice.
glacier ice, is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
The blue one?
No.
Oh, you like the red
seen
one?
the
No, the
Glacier
white one.
Cherry.
white-
What's the white one?
goodness.
I don't know the name, so mine is just, I guess the name is Orange.
Orange?
Yeah.
I mean,
The original.
I like the yellow Gatorade.
The original yellow is pretty good.
Yeah.
That looks too much like, what comes out.
Well, you got to
after
get past that.
Nah, I'm okay.
Gatorade Frost. Let me think here. Let me see here.
The orange is the best. It's not even close.
You're not even closing us.
No.
Now
it's
here
not
we
even
go.
close.
Gatorade or Powerade? Because I
Gatorade.
I blank
I'm a
with a good
Gatorade.
blue Powerade.
I'm okay with
If I'm ever
Gatorade.
feeling down,
No.
blue Powerade.
No.
Bring it back
Gatorade
to
for
life.
Glacier Cherry. I was right. Glacier Cherry. Gatorade Zero, Glacier Cherry.
Oh,
It's the clear one.
no.
What do you mean? Have you had it?
Zero?
You're like my kids.
No.
I don't want that. You've never had it in your life. How do you know you don't want that?
That's exactly how children are. You are correct.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You know.
I do.
I don't like steak. First of all, it's pork chops. Second of all, so I had a conversation with Killian the other night. I don't like steak. It's a pork chop. I don't like them either.
Never had
had
my
'em.
Dino Nuggets.
He did. He goes, where are my chicken fries?
Oh.
First of all, you got to clean up your attitude.
Second of all,
those
those things only come out here and there at Burger King, so you gotta get
those chicken
them
fries are good.
when they're out.
That's right. Should teams and players be more focused on line drive rate than launch angle? There is one former MLBer that says exactly that. We'll tell you if we agree next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take on the Cubs tonight. 7:15 first pitch. Miles Michaelis on the mound going up against Shota Imanaga. We'll continue talking about Cardinals baseball throughout the remainder of the show. Tonight we have the Florida Panthers taking on the New York Rangers. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final. Florida leads that series 1-0. Pre-game for it starts at 6:30. Coming up next, well, you probably know.
Say it.
Say it. The lineup game. Coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
One average show.
You know what time it is? Lineup game tonight. Shota Imanaga for the Cubs versus Miles Michaelis for the Cardinals. Busch Stadium.
Okay.
7:15. Imanaga, Carey, a lefty, a left-hander. So, with that piece of information, does your boy Mason Wynn lead off tonight?
Yes. From here on out.
All right, I believe in you. So you go for it, kid.
Show us Mason Wynn.
I'm watching the Futures game, and this thing's all over Instagram. It's like, this guy threw a ball 100 across the. That's awesome, but like, how many throwing errors does he have?
Shut up! Love it.
I do.
All right.
This is gonna be a little. This is gonna get a little hairy here.
It has been Newbar, who has been
Versus a
hitting well.
lefty?
I think he even wasn't he in this spot before with a lefty.
You have at it.
Oh, I don't like your doubt.
I just said you have at it.
I know, but you didn't say like, oh,
You
you,
know what?
got
You
this.
got it, man. Go ahead.
Show us Lars Taylor Tatsui Newtbar.
What makes you think she's a witch? Well, she turned me into a newt.
Just needed that.
A newt. I got better.
I don't want to be needy.
Nah,
but
you
you know
right.
something
You're
like that. Like, hey,
I
just
apologize.
a little bit of
nudge in the right direction. I apologize. I'll be better next time.
no need to apologize. We're a team.
Yep.
Let's keep winning.
This RL chalk.
Do it.
Show us Paul Goldschmidt.
Gold! Rich with gold! Gold!
Oh hell yeah. May I?
Yeah, you have at it. Okay.
Marsh, will you please show us?
No.
He's a Gold Glove winner and perennial All-Star.
Oh, listen to Mr. Gold Glove over here.
Come on.
Okay. Alec Burleson. He has been hitting fifth.
Let's. All righty. I mean, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What are you thinking?
I think Alec Burleson is going to be in the lineup anyway. Come hell or high water.
Okay.
Show us Alec Burleson.
What a shame.
Okay.
Ivan Herrera?
Does Gorman, despite his powers, he's still down in the lineup? Then I do think it's Ivan Herrera.
You want to do this one?
Nope. I want you to have a rebound.
All right, show us Ivan Herrera.
I'm just going to say this right now. I think Ivan
Way to go,
Herrera's going to hit a
Carey.
home run right here.
Marsh just literally called that at Ballpark Village.
Nice. Marshy had a vision is right, Gary. Okay. Is this Burleson?
If he's not in the lineup, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah, he's in the lineup. Show us Alec Burleson.
You know, kind of closed my eyes and swung at it and did what I wanted to do.
Early to the rescue.
Yeah. So we know Gorman is in the lineup somewhere. He's got to be.
So is Brendan Donovan.
Donovan.
So you're going to have three lefties back to back to back.
You already got your catcher. No, so I don't think.
Very good question.
You still need a center fielder. So if we work backwards, it's probably Siani ninth,
Yeah.
Gorman eighth.
You think he's batting that low?
I don't think he's going back to back lefties. But
Who's going to be in the lineup there then?
no, you're right. Then it's got to be Donovan,
Be
Gorman, and
Four
Siani.
lefties.
Wow. This is going to be a show.
What'd you say?
Nothing. So, who are we saying here? Donovan?
Unless you got Pahis in and...
No, I think it's... Yeah. I think it's Donovan. What do you think?
I'm okay with that.
All right, go ahead.
Show us Brendan Donovan.
Donnie.
Hey, this headband's pretty cool.
Now Gorman. Show us Gorman.
Get your fresh organic popcorn.
Get your popcorn ready.
Okay. And then go ahead.
Who are we looking at?
Superbad.
Is it Pahis?
No.
I mean,
Siani?
Siani?
Yeah.
Show us Siani.
Michael.
You're not Michael Phelps. You're Michael Cera.
Okay, run it, Marsh.
All right, leading off, the shortstop, Mason Wynn. Batting second in right field, Lars Taylor Tatsui Nootbaar. Batting third, your first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt. Your cleanup hitter, third baseman. Batting fifth, catching, Ivan Herrera. Batting sixth, the DH, Alec Burleson. Batting seventh in left field, Brendan Donovan. Batting eighth, second baseman, Nolan Gorman. And batting ninth in center field, Michael Siani.
Go fair, go fair!
I don't believe what I just saw. Home run.
Walrus came from the snake pit, says, hey, you cut out there for a second, Anthony. No. I cut myself off.
Intentionally.
All right. Boy, this is a lot more fun to play when you're on the board.
Yeah.
So can you please read off those standings?
For sure. Jamie and I are tied with 9 points. Carrie has 6 points.
Okay.
And Anthony Stalter on the board.
Put him on the board.
With 1.
Yeah. Thank you.
It does
Nolan
feel
Gorman.
better having
It
one.
does, man.
0 feels like crap.
Now, am I still in dead last? Sure, but I mean, it's dead last. But the arrow's pointing up.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, guys.
I'm going to go with Ivan Herrera tonight.
Okay.
Ivan Herrera.
Did Jamie send in his pick? He's a
No, he did not.
Newt kind of guy, isn't he?
He does like Newt. He also likes Gorman.
I think he likes
a lot.
Pedro Pahis off the bench.
He could. You know what? I don't want to do that because
first.
that's probably what he'll do. You don't give him Pahis off the bench.
No, we can't do that. Let's give him Siani.
No, I think we give him a 1.
1-pointer?
Yeah. Give him Goldschmidt.
Yeah, give him Goldie.
Well, who do you guys want? And then we'll get...
Yeah, the good call.
I'm going to go Burley.
And I'm going to go Nolan Arenado. So we can give him Goldschmidt. That way he's not going to complain about that, and it's a 1-pointer. Probably a 4 tonight. All right, there you go. That is our home run derby and our lineup game. So we didn't get into this, but should teams and players be more focused on line drive rates than launch angle? That's next on 101 ESPN. Holiday weekend, perfect time to get yourself into a new ride from Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. They've got their May Day deals going on. You can take advantage of available incentives on new Nissans right now, including 0% APR and payment terms all the way up to 84 months. No down payment needed and 3 months of no payments, or $5,000 off MSRP on new Nissan models. Again, all of these incentives for their May Day deals, all courtesy of Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. As always, all new Nissans at Auto Centers come with their exclusive complimentary lifetime warranty, complimentary 1-year maintenance, and 30-day return promise. If you're not completely satisfied and thrilled with your experience in your vehicle, bring it back within 30 days. Auto Centers Nissan will refund your money, set you up with something else. Their dealership out in Herculaneum boasts 700 vehicles plus, all in one location. rest assured that you're going to find the perfect vehicle for your style and your budget. So whether you're looking at a car, a truck, a van, an SUV, head out to Auto Centers Nissan. Check them out online at autocentersnissan.com. Financing options for everyone that walks through the door out in Herculaneum. It's Auto Centers Nissan. Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Should teams and players be more focused on line drive rate than launch angle? Well, at least one former big leaguer talked about that as a member of MLB Network's programming. Billy Ripken discussed a Cardinal in this respect. Here's Billy Ripken on Mason Wynn and how he has started to attack pitchers.
Who's on this board but MVPs? And this is a better thought process to me instead of the launch angle craze that we've hit and them talking about barrels and how they define it. This is defined at 10 degrees to 25, below the barrel. But who are these guys? Oh, they're called MVPs. And he's on a board right here, and he's in the middle of a 13-game hit streak where he's hitting 354.
So there you have it. He's talking about Mason Wynn, and he did reference that graphic that Jamie had brought up a couple of days ago, which shows the line drive rates of players. On that list, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, among others, and Mason Wynn. Mm-hmm. So is line drive rate kind of a better predictor when it comes to, hitting prowess than launch angle? Absolutely. I think, we have taken this launch angle thing too far. Launch angle is important if you couple it with hard hit rate at determining home runs. What we hear is, well, people keep talking about launch angle, so it must be the end-all be-all. No, that's not it. It is coupling a couple of different factors if you're talking about home runs. But then people hear it, and it goes throughout their domicile, and it comes out as launch angle. What is it good for? We're talking about physics. how hard you hit the ball, and at what angle that you hit it will lead to home runs. That's it.
Right.
We're not talking about the complete offensive picture for a player, but when it comes to maybe line drive rate, is that a better indicator of how well somebody's hitting? Yes. Mm-hmm. If you're hitting the ball on the screws, if you're hitting the ball on a line, it means you're barreling it up. It means, your backside is staying upright. Your hands are back, level swing, doubles, hard hit singles. Yes, I think it's a better indicator of whether or not somebody's seeing the ball well, hitting the ball hard, all that.
And you hit the nail on the head. I think you're squaring the ball up and hitting it hard. Mm-hmm. If it's a line drive, that means you probably got a hold of it now, right. And you probably have more of a chance of hitting a ball out when you hit it in line with a line drive. You're going to hit the ball hard. You're going to hit it far, and when you look at those names on that list.
Tells you everything, right?
It tells you everything. It's Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts. I get the Mason Wynn, Luis Ariz. He's a pretty good hitter. Last time I checked, you picked him pretty much every time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Last year, Lamonte. There's so many Jerickson Profar. There are so many names on here, and when I went and looked at the line drive percentage, I went and looked at batting average, and pretty much all of those guys are top 10 in batting. I know people don't care about batting average, but that's you getting on base, right, with a hit.
Absolutely.
Is that what that number represents? Yep. Like you hit the ball into the outfield or in the infield, but you ended up on base, either first, second, or third, or you even went home.
It's as basic as it comes. How many plate appearances do you have based on how many hits do you have?
Pretty
Average
simple.
It out. Yeah.
Pretty simple. So you're hitting the ball hard, you're getting on base, you're having success, and when you do all of those things, you allow your team to do what? Score runs.
Sure.
Because now you can put yourself in scoring position, or the ball that you hit puts you in scoring position. Mm-hmm. And that's the name of the game, is to get on base, to score runs, and to win games.
That's right.
It's not about, well, if you take this 33% at launch angle, you can hit this ball into the, okay, and what if I miss it? What if I'm so busy trying to lift the ball, lift and separate,
that's the key,
that I'm unable to even hit said ball?
Right.
Jordan Walker?
Yep.
I'm trying to lift everything, and now I'm Willie Mays Hayes, popping everything up. I haven't understood it. It hasn't made sense to me, the need for launch angle, especially like I told you. If I've heard Albert Pujols talk about it and say it doesn't matter, if I hear Alex Rodriguez talk about it and say that it doesn't matter, that's not how you hit home runs, and those guys have hit tons of home runs, I'm going to listen to them. You bring context. What you're saying is you're bringing context to this conversation, right? If it's leading to you, Jordan Walker, adjusting your swing, and that is coupled with bad habits. Yes.
Then it's not good. Don't focus on it.
Don't do it.
But if you're taking it just like you're taking every other piece of information, exactly for what it is, then you understand it. If you simply say launch angle, at what degree does the ball come off your bat?
Who wants to do math?
Nobody. Well, some people. Just not in this building. Well, not in this studio. But if the launch angle is a certain way, it's gonna lead to home runs. That's it. Just pure physics.
If you drive the ball, you probably hit home runs too.
Sure. But we have a tendency, if we don't understand it, we don't have the context to it, then we don't take it for exactly what it is. But with what you're talking about, if there is information like, hey, listen, Kerry, you're a hitter, right? Kerry, you're going to have to improve your launch angle here. It says right here it's not good enough.
So I 33, right angle, 90.
How does that do anything for you?
What do you want me to do?
Right.
How do I do that?
Right.
Your swing needs to go through the zone at a certain path?
Yeah, and then you'll hit more home runs.
But is that going
to just fix it?
Am I going to miss the ball when I change my swing?
If you don't have a better launch angle, I'm sending you down.
Okay. Well, I trade me.
Right? It's not unlike, quite frankly, anything else. Hey, Kerry, improve your line drive rate. It's down.
I don't know how.
So what? It comes down to teaching,
the ball
right?
And hit it hard, though.
It comes down to teaching, which is coaching. Coaching is teaching. Can you take that information and can you apply it to the player that is struggling? If not, hey, get out. If not, we need to replace you. That's the way I'm looking at all this. I don't know about you guys. All right, let's get into the gauntlet. We got a new gauntlet contestant?
Yes, we will have Hunter joining us today.
All right, Hunter. Hunter Renfrow is going to join us
right.
ahead of his game with the Royals next on 101 ESPN. Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation needs to be your very first call if you are buying a house, if you are consolidating debt, or if you're in a spot that you need a loan, you just don't know whether or not you qualify. You don't know if now's the right time because of where rates are. You don't know where the economy is going, where rates are going. Call Stewie because he's going to help you. He's got various programs, such as his bagel loan program, where if you're purchasing a home and you're borrowing $200,000 or more, you're going to qualify for the bagel loan, which means no closing costs, no lender fees, no title fees, no nothing. Think about all that money you're going to save up front so that you can apply it to maybe a home remodel, or maybe you can throw more money down as a down payment, or you can attract the seller with more money up front. These are the programs that Stewie has in place for you to help you save money. And he hands out his personal cell phone number, which is 314-324-4440, because he wants you to call and have that old school customer service feel without going through, the jumps and the challenges of getting somebody on the phone. So give him a call or text him. Tell him you heard Jamie or Anthony talking about it on 101 ESPN. He loves 101 ESPN listeners, and have him save you money over the course of your loan. Google the bagel loan, too, if you need that phone number that I just threw out there. It's Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation.
NMLS number 226715.
Four warriors, four categories, one challenger. Can you master the gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit Mastor.com.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 401. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Kerry Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Hunter. What's up, Hunter?
Oh, living the dream.
Yeah.
Good man. Are you off for the day?
Yep, heading out west.
Excellent. Well, first time in the gauntlet?
No, I've done it before.
Okay. Who'd you play?
I've beaten Anthony, and I've beaten Marsh. I've never beaten Kerry, though.
Oh.
Well, are you taking on Kerry first, or are you going with either me or Marsh since you've had the ultimate success against us?
I would prefer to take on Kerry.
Wow. All right. Okay, Hunter.
Hunter?
I like it.
Best of luck to you.
Kerry's going to get the heck out of here. He's going to go into the cone of silence right now. All right, so, Hunter, go ahead and tell Andrew Marsh to spin that wheel.
Hey, Marsh, spin that wheel.
I like the energy, Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
What are you hoping for?
Anything but hockey, preferably.
Well, you didn't take me, so you should be okay. But, Marsh?
Oh, it was just about to land on random, but we have football today.
Oh, okay. Football back-to-back days. There you go. All right, so Marsh is going to give me the launch code. I'll let you know right away here. 2 points for every question. Unless you, Hunter, or Kerry ask for the options. If you guys ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Hunter, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Question 1. In football, name the team in the NFL who has gone the longest without winning their division, having not done so since 1989.
Well, it's not the Cowboys. Let's see. 89. I'll take the options.
Miami Dolphins, New York Jets, Cleveland Browns.
Dolphins, Jets, Browns. I think the Jets did it with the franchise, didn't they? Let's go with the Browns.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
The Sanchez. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course I do.
All right, question number 2. Who was the head coach of that team who spent most of his career as a defensive coordinator for the Steelers, Rams, Ravens, Chiefs, Jets, and Eagles? He finished his career with 1 year as the defensive coordinator in St. Louis in 1997.
Oh, I'm going to need the options.
Wow.
Options are Marty Schottenheimer, Bud Carson. Anthony might have to help me out on this one. Peter Gunta.
Let's go with Marty.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hunter, question 3. That 1989 team that won their division made it to the AFC Championship that year and fell to which team who ended up getting blown out by the 49ers in the Super Bowl?
Oh, buddy, it was the Broncos.
Final answer?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's the best I'm going to get.
All right.
Final question for you, Hunter. Wade Phillips was the defensive coordinator of that team from question number 1. Which UFL team is Wade Phillips currently the head coach of?
San Antonio. Is it San Antonio? Let's go with San Antonio Brahmas.
Final answer?
Yep.
All right.
Let's bring back Kerry Davis from the Cone of Silence. Hunter, how you feeling, man?
About as good as John Mozeliak with his fancy sweaters on.
Well, so pretty good.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, all right. Kerry Davis putting his headphones back on. Kerry,
how's it going, fellas?
How's the Cone of Silence today?
Me and Mike Wright are just talking.
He's the best, ain't he?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Life, love, and the pursuit of happiness.
Sure.
Yep.
Go ahead, tell him.
Pack a lunch.
Oh, boy.
Kerry, you got football again.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't fare too well yesterday.
Foosball.
Might not know football like I think I do.
Here we go. Question 1.
Righty.
Name the team in the NFL who has gone the longest without winning their division, having not done so since 1989.
Ooh. I hate doing this because I would have to go through each division. AFC East. AFC North. I feel like that's a Browns answer for sure. AFC South. West. AFC North.
Looks like you're a disc jockey over there. I know the listeners or the viewers on YouTube can't see it, but it looks like you're like...
He's circling certain teams in his mind.
Okay. Darn it. Give me the options.
The Miami Dolphins,
Okay.
the New York Football Jets, or the Cleveland Browns.
It's always the Browns. The Jets, did they play an AFC Championship game at home that year? If they did, they probably won their division. Give me the Cleveland Browns, man. You can't go wrong with the factory of sadness. Shouldn't have took the options.
Final answer.
Question number 2. Who was the head coach of said team who spent most of his career as a defensive coordinator for the Steelers, Rams, Ravens, Chiefs, Jets, and Eagles? He finished his career with 1 year as the defensive coordinator in St. Louis in 1997.
Of said team, meaning the team that I just answered?
From question number 1.
Can you read that again?
Absolutely,
oh my
man.
God.
So who was the head coach of that team who spent most of his career as a defensive coordinator for the Steelers, Rams, Ravens, Chiefs, Jets, and Eagles? He finished his career with 1 year as the defensive coordinator in St. Louis in 1997.
Oh my God. That was the head coach of said team. So I got to make sure I got that team correct first. Oh my God. Yeah. This is ridiculous. Give me the options.
Options. Here are your options. Marty Schottenheimer, Bud Carson, or Peter Gunther.
That helped. Marty Schottenheimer. He wasn't, was he? No. Peter Gunther or Bud Carson? Oh man. Give me. No, he was a head coach. Yeah, give me Bud Carson. That final answer.
All right, so with a lot of confidence, here we go. Question 3. That 1989 team that won their division made it to the AFC Championship that year and fell to which team who ended up getting blown out by the 49ers in the Super Bowl?
That would be the 89. Here we go. Hold on. Because here it is. This is the 89 season? Or is it the 89 playoffs?
I believe it would be the 1989 regular season, but do not quote me on that.
And they lost to the 49ers. That sounds like the Browns versus Bengals.
Do you want me to read it to you again?
Yes, please.
That 1989 team that won their division made it to the AFC Championship game that year and fell to which team who ended up getting blown out by the 49ers in the Super Bowl?
Cincinnati Bengals, final answer.
Question number 4. Wade Phillips was the defensive coordinator of that team. Which UFL team is Wade Phillips currently the head coach of?
Clearly, I don't know that. I didn't know which team was undefeated yesterday. I feel like we've seen Wade Phillips. Is it the San Antonio Brahmas? Let's go San Antonio. Final answer.
Okay.
Could have some controversy.
And here we go. Name the team in the NFL who has gone the longest without winning their division, having not done so since 1989. Hunter, you said the Browns. Carrie, you said the Browns. Correct answer is?
It is the Cleveland Browns.
Both of you asked for the options.
I hate it. I knew it.
1-1 tie. You did know it. 1-1 tie. Who is the head coach of that team who spent most of his career as a defensive coordinator for the Steelers, the Rams, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Jets, and Eagles? He finished his career with 1 year as a defensive coordinator in St. Louis in 1997. Hunter, you said Marty Schottenheimer. Carrie, you said Bud Carson. Correct answer is?
It is Bud Carson.
Nice job, Carrie. You needed the options. 2-1 lead for Carrie Davis.
He was an OC, wasn't he? All right.
What's that?
I say Marty was an OC.
Yes, he's an OC and a head coach.
I knew that.
Wade Phillips was the defensive coordinator of that Browns team. Which UFL team is Wade Phillips currently the head coach of? Carrie, you said the San Antonio Brahmas. Hunter, you said the San Antonio Brahmas. Correct answer is?
It is the San Antonio Brahmas, as Carrie said.
Neither of you asked for the options. Carrie has a 1-point lead. It will come down to this. That 1989 team that won their division made it to the AFC Championship game that year. So we're talking about the Browns. The Browns fell to which team who ended up getting blown out by the 49ers in that season's Super Bowl? Neither of you guys took the options, which is important on this. Kerry said the Bengalis. If it's the Bengals, Kerry wins in a runaway. If it's the Denver Broncos, then Hunter wins with that 2-pointer. Hunter.
Yeah.
You have chosen wisely.
When you said Broncos,
It's the Broncos. It was the fumble. It was the fumble. Browns and Broncos, AFC title game. Broncos went on to get crushed. Dan Reeves and company crushed by the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
What year was it, the Bengals?
89 was the Super Bowl date.
Okay. Yeah, Bengals lost twice in the 80s to the 49ers, so I could see why you were going that route. Yeah. Nonetheless, Hunter, congratulations. You get to celebrate
Good job,
not only tonight, not only Saturday night, not only Saturday night, not only Monday night, but Monday night. Tuesday, you'll be back to take on Marsh, me, or Jamie. Congratulations, Hunter. Nice work.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good weekend.
You too, man. Thank you,
Hunter.
We'll see you, buddy. There you go.
Those numbers...
They trip you up a little bit.
I think you got to look past the date and remember who
won
blew
the
out.
Super Bowl.
Yes.
Who blew out? Like, who did the 49ers blow out?
Yeah, because they didn't blow out the Bengals
It was
in
a
the late.
20 to 16 game.
Yeah, that wasn't a blowout. Either way. But you knew the fumble.
I did know the
Browns
fumble.
and
I
Broncos.
knew, but I just thought Bengals for
It's all
whatever.
good.
Yeah.
Carrie,
That's
listen, I know where you're going on that one.
It's all good.
You know?
Good
I knew
job,
where you're
Hunter.
going with that.
What fumble? Obviously, I wasn't alive.
The fumble.
The fumble.
It's the fumble game. It's the fumble. Browns going in. Gonna be a touchdown.
Was it who was it?
Ernest Biner.
Yeah.
Stalter on the fumble. You mother. You mother. Didn't even see it. So he fumbled, and then 10 years later, probably on the date, Stalter on the fumble. Yeah, it wasn't the date. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jim Bowden, not Bobby Bowden's brother. Jim Bowden of The Athletic. He still expects the Cardinals to be sellers. He also answered a question that Jamie had for us yesterday that we'll provide a pretty good answer for. That's next on 101 ESPN. Jim Bowden of The Athletic put together another article in which he was asked about trades. Will the Blue Jays sell? Where could Pete Alonso land? So early MLB trade deadline questions for 15 teams. He mentioned the Cardinals twice. Actually, he mentioned the Cardinals a handful of times, but he was asked specifically about the Cardinals twice. The first question was, actually, I'll give you the other one first. If the Cardinals trade Ryan Helsley, what's the range of the expected return? This was a question that Jamie asked us yesterday. And I had mentioned, I said, well, look, when the Cubs acquired Aroldis Chapman from the Yankees, they gave up a prospect named Gleyber Torres. Torres obviously would go on to become a regular for the Yankees and somebody that has been in their lineup pretty much ever since. Brandon Kiley also texted me at some point during that segment. I didn't read the text until we got in the break, Harry, but he had reminded me that the Royals, when they traded Aroldis Chapman to the Rangers last year, they got Cole Ragans, who is now their ace. The point being, you can get something significant in return if you give up a bona fide closer, which is what Ryan Helsley is. Jim Bowden highlights that as well. Here's his answer. Who's the Cardinals, they'll be able to get a young, everyday position player prospect or rookie major league position player who could start now, or a middle of the rotation pitching prospect along with 2 mid or lower level type prospects. Expect the Orioles, Yankees, and Dodgers to be in play here. So this is why the conversation continues to come up about Ryan Helsley and whether or not, if the Cardinals are out of it at the deadline, which is the caveat here, whether or not they would part with Ryan Helsley. It makes sense.
Right.
He's an older player for a guy that you think is going to be, a significant piece for you.
Right.
He's a little bit older. He's 20. I think he's 28, 29. He's got one more year left of arbitration before he becomes a free agent, unrestricted free agent in 2026. You could get something significant in return for him.
Right.
At this point, like Bowden said, either a position player that's ready to play now, that's a young player, or a middle-of-the-rotation pitching prospect. And we say middle of the rotation, that doesn't mean that that's all they'll be. Maybe turns into an ace at some point. But that's the type of return that you can expect.
Do you need a position player that can play every day right now? That's
a great question.
They're kind of stacked in that role, I think. Outfield, infield, catcher. I think position players, I dare to say we're good at, knock on wood, because when you say that, then injuries start piling up.
Right.
And guys are, all over the place. But a pitching middle of the rotation, 2, 3, preferably, type of player, that could help your team. If it's not this year, then definitely going into 2025.
Yeah.
So I think that would, if you are in a position at the end of the season or trade deadline where Ryan Helsley is going to garner you something that can help you for 2025 and this season is done.
You're going to do it.
You should do it.
You should do it. The Cardinals won't, but you should do it because it's too risky for them.
And they should do it because why not? I mean, are you going to pay Ryan Helsley here, in the next couple of years to be your closer and he'll be 31 years old?
Right.
Or do you get a prospect or a player that can be a number 2, number 3 type of pitcher in your starting rotation when you probably need that, especially going into 2025 where both of those guys, Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn, are both on their one-year deals. So you could help your team in that regard also.
Absolutely. I think it's a no-brainer if you're out of it because relievers are so volatile as it is. I mean, you could be a shutdown closer for 2 years and then you wind up bouncing around for a while because you don't have it anymore. Right. Droid does bring up an interesting point, though. He says, so trade Ryan Helsley for Jackson Holiday. And then he said, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, I think I'm in on that.
Okay.
Yep. How bad do you want him, Orioles?
The Orioles don't have faith in Jackson. I mean, they're
sending him down.
Yeah, he can play.
Basically hate him. Right. Bring him home. The other question, go ahead, Marsh.
There's another name that a lot of people have been throwing out there, too, is Heston Kjerstad.
Yes, that'd be nice as well.
So both of them. We'll take Jackson Holiday and Kjerstad.
How bad do you want to close games, Orioles?
How bad do you want a World Series? Because he could lock it down.
Last time we saw you You're not playing well, Baltimore.
No, blew a lead.
Blew a lead last night. Should have lost to the White Sox.
Yeah.
Dropped 3 to us here in St. Louis. How bad do you want to win, Baltimore? Well, it's going to cost you is Jackson Holiday. Like Gary said, you don't like him anyways.
It's going to cost you.
Bring him on home.
Cost you a lot. Cost you a little.
The other question that Jim Bowden threw out there, how bad, or it was asked, how bad will the Cardinals have to get before they tear it all down at the deadline? His response, I think the Cardinals will be sellers at the trade deadline. I believe they'll listen on most of their players outside of Sonny Gray, Jordan Walker, and Mason Wynn. Don't be surprised if Paul Goldschmidt, offseason signings, Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson, and the team's elite closer, Ryan Helsley, are all dealt at the deadline in a dramatic restructuring of the roster for 2025 and beyond.
That's intriguing.
I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think that could be that would change where you're headed if you were to do that?
I think teams that kind of know who they are would do something like that.
Yeah, what are you saying?
I don't think the Cardinals know who the hell they are. I think they're I think they think they're a team that can just retool constantly. We're good. We just retool. We just retool. We just retool. They're not going to trade Goldschmidt and Helsley and Lynn and Gibson and all. Maybe Lynn and Gibson because they're on expiring deals. But and Goldschmidt, I guess, for that matter. But
do you want them to be at a position where you could see if this is going to happen, or do you want them to just? I think this is a good question. Do you? Because I'm saying it's my question, so clearly I think it's a good question.
Yes, Gary, you're brilliant. Go ahead, ask your question.
Do you think? Would you rather see if this were able to come to fruition, where they get to a point where they are kind of a middling team, and at the trade deadline they are sellers, or would you rather them just hang around just enough? If I told you they were going to trade off those pieces for sure, or hang on just enough to possibly make it to the playoffs, which would you rather see?
I would rather see a defined, whatever it is, but very defined. So
no, you don't get defined.
Well, they're either in it and they're not.
No, you're right there. It's my question. I get to ask it how you can't.
I can't alter it.
Nah,
I looked at the
I gave
menu.
You the parameters of what this is not.
Yeah, but I looked at the menu. I just want to swap out.
No.
A couple of things.
Our staple our restaurant comes with staples. You can't. You change anything. Whoa.
We aren't trading anybody. We're trading 4 people. We're 8-2 in the last 10. We got the Cubs who stink.
Okay.
Coming in this weekend, we're going to sweep them. We're going to get back to 500, and then we're going to beat the Reds because they stink. And we're going to keep going from there. I don't want to hear anything about getting rid of anybody because we are going to win more games than we did last year and be in it in the final week of the season.
Dude, the best part, and Carrie, I think you missed it. We're on this delay here. So I looked at the YouTube.
Yeah.
You should have seen this. So he grabbed the glasses, which I didn't see.
I saw him grab the glasses. I didn't know he put them on. I knew he was. I figured.
I didn't see it. But I looked up, and Marsh is like this with the glasses.
Yes, I did see him.
I missed that whole part. And as soon as he put it on, it was like he went into...
It was like Jim Carrey in the mask.
It was. Wow.
That's hilarious.
All right, well, you have Marsh's answer. For me, no, I want to see him win.
You sure? You didn't sound very... You didn't... That was the least
I want to see him
confident
win.
I want to see them win I've ever heard. I want to see him win.
I want to see him win. I want to see him buy it. I want to see him buy it. I don't want another losing season.
All right.
Yeah, I want to see him win.
Just checking.
Yeah, I'm sick of this crap.
Yeah.
Let's just win.
Let's just win.
Let's just win. Let's just get in.
They should do something.
Anything can happen,
They
right?
should do a slogan like "Just win, baby." You know?
Yeah.
That one is already taken.
Something original.
I haven't heard that one before.
I'm looking at him now.
What about whatever it takes?
What's that?
I'm looking at it now.
You watching Marsh? It's amazing.
Whatever it takes, I think is gone as well. Think that one is. It's probably trademarked. You got to find something that is unique to your city, your town. Just get in is available.
Got it.
Just get in.
Just do it.
Just do it. That's a really
do
good
it.
one.
Just do it. Just get it done.
Fellas, there was a campaign, like 80s, 90s, it's probably still going. It's Nike. You can't take that one.
What about like have it your way?
Yeah. Oh, because you want to have it your way when it comes to winning.
Is that one taken?
I'm pretty sure that one's gone.
Not from a sports team, though, right?
No, maybe.
You know, the Cardinals used to be the St. Louis Browns, so maybe the slogan is, what can Brown do for you?
Yeah, no, that's UPS. Yeah, we're gonna have to sit down and throw some more darts at the board.
I got a good one. What about eating good in the neighborhood?
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Eating wins.
Yes, we are.
Like
Eating
Jameis
innings.
Winston and eating innings.
Yeah.
It works.
Eating W's.
We're eating W's,
Okay.
right?
How about melts in your mouth, not in your hand?
That's
Because when you go to the ballpark.
Oh.
Nope, not gonna work either.
Okay.
You guys spitball in the break and let me know what you come up with.
All right,
Preferably something that isn't already used and trademarked and been around for 30, 40 years.
No Name came up with a good one. I just can't mention it, but we appreciate it. Yeah.
Definitely not using Fly the W, though.
No,
we don't like that. That is dumb.
See? Yeah, you guys.
Dumb. They won't be flying anything. We'll be
Yeah.
flying home after they lose 3 in a row.
Oh, Eric got a great one. Taste the Rainbow.
That's a great
Taste the
one.
Rainbow of Wins.
Yes. Absolutely. There's a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, which is
that one also is taken.
The money
Well,
that
you know, Kerry,
we could spend.
boy, you've been real negative throughout this whole idea session. I didn't think there was any bad ideas, but apparently there are only bad ideas.
Those are bad ideas.
Jeez.
Get you sued, fellas.
Zoosh. I also like yours. I don't know if it works for the Cardinals, but yeah, I like it. Snake Pit. What happens first? We're going to play that next. 314-399-9646. What happens first if you get an air comfort service, scenario for us? Throw it out there. That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals take on the Cubs tonight with Miles Michaelis taking the mound, going up against Shota Imanaga. First pitch is at 7:15. We've been talking Cardinals baseball all day long. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to Game 2 between the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. The Panthers lead that series 1-0. Pre-game for that one starts at 6:30. We have What Happens First coming up next. So if you have a What Happens First statement you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. What Happens First coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Before we get into what happens first, we had a very spirited, very passionate listener who was listening last segment, and I had said something that got him or her fired up, so we wanted to address it.
From the 314, is this guy freaking serious? The Browns and the Cardinals are totally separate baseball teams. I hope to God you were only saying that to make a joke.
I didn't hear what you said. What did I miss?
I said the Cardinals used to be the Browns, which is not the case. What I meant was St. Louis used to have the Browns, so why don't they go with the UPS, what could Brown do for you? I was so excited to do the what could Brown do for you that I
misspoke.
I misspoke.
Yeah, it happens.
It was all in jest. It was all a joke. I don't want this person to do harm to him or herself.
Or to you,
or to
actually.
me.
Because
I fear for both.
If you don't get it right, Anthony, well, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
And that's...
It was a joke.
Our motto.
I misspoke.
We don't want to be wrong.
As I was excited, I misspoke. Thought of another slogan. That's on me. Please don't harm me or yourself.
You don't want to.
I'm concerned about both.
Yeah. We get things wrong around here every now and then.
Every once in a while. Yeah. Yep. Every segment.
Paul Gorman.
Paul Gorman's one of them.
Craig Seeger. What did you call? Craig Euclid. What'd you call him? Bob Euchre. Craig Euchre. What'd you call him?
Yeah. What did I call Bob Euchre?
Steve Euchre.
I think I called him Steve Euchre. Yeah.
Steve Euchre.
I can understand
I did Paul Gorman.
Yeah.
Craig Seager. Very close to Craig Sager.
Corey Seager.
Corey Seager.
You know? Yeah. Either way, I apologize.
Craig Sager had the best outfits.
He used to have
best suits.
All over the place. Very.
I love them.
I mean, you had to have, something about you to go out the house dressed in
swagger.
Yeah.
Are we ready for what happens first?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. From the 573, what happens first? Josh Allen beats the Chiefs in the playoffs, or the Browns cut their losses and move on from Deshaun Watson?
Oh, the Browns cut their losses. Why would the Bills beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? Anthony? You better not. After you just got on me yesterday for saying the Chiefs weren't going to win the Super Bowl, you're essentially saying the same thing I said yesterday.
Yeah, if Mahomes ever got hurt, I could see the Bills.
What are you doing?
Bills upsetting the Chiefs.
Didn't you get on me about hurting someone's ankle yesterday?
Yeah, but you literally hurt someone. I'm saying
whose ankle did I hurt yesterday?
I think it was Jackson when you were sidestepping him. You ended up doing that spin move and you broke his ankles in the hallway. Is that what you're talking about?
No. It was a player.
Oh.
Whose ankle?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hurt yesterday. I don't remember.
It was a quarterback.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago.
Caleb Williams, did you hurt his ankle?
I don't know. Maybe.
Was it Aaron Rodgers?
No, he's already done that to himself.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know.
Achilles.
I can't remember what I ate for breakfast today, let alone somebody else.
I don't even know what we're doing this segment before the segment starts.
Anyways, it's definitely the Browns moving on from that disastrous contract.
Good job.
Yeah. Used to be the Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
They did.
Yeah. Did you know the St. Louis Browns were in St. Louis?
I did know that.
Not affiliated to the Cardinals in any way, shape, or form.
Then became the Baltimore Orioles.
That's
when
correct.
you say St. Louis first.
Yeah.
It gives it away.
St. Louis Browns.
Maybe if the Cardinals trade Ryan Helsley to the Orioles, they'll just move back to St. Louis in return.
Yeah. Good call.
It's in play.
Marsh,
Colts
it's,
used to be in
it's a
Baltimore,
real
too.
good thought.
Good answer.
From the 314, what happens first? Nolan Arenado hits the 10-home run mark, or Jordan Walker gets called back up?
Jordan Walker gets called back up.
Yeah, I would say so too.
How many home runs do you think Nolan Arenado is going to hit this year? 15?
How many does he have right now?
3? Why'd you make that face?
Yeah, he's going to hit. Let's see
He
here.
got 3, right?
Is that what he has,
I
Marsh?
believe so. Let's see.
You don't know.
He's got 3. Yeah. Paul
You're just
Goldschmidt has
saying
4.
yes. Okay.
Well, it's early in the season.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm going to say he has.
June.
Would have been
15. He's going to finish with 15. Career low.
That's not good.
No. And I don't know if it's a career low, so nobody check me on it. Just
Trust you.
trust me.
Anthony, I believe you.
Thank you. I've been solid.
Spot on.
Yeah, I've been
Especially
accurate.
in the last 10 minutes.
No, he
Absolutely.
had 10 his rookie year. And he had 8 in 2020, but we don't count
Damn it, Gary.
Well, I mean, qualified years.
His rookie year, he played 133 games.
Okay, well, get up, Gary. What did I say? What did I say?
Anthony was just joking.
He told me don't check. I apologize.
No, I wasn't joking that time. I told you I didn't know. 15.
Next one, from the Water Boy. What happens first? Justin Fields starts a game for the Steelers, or Michael Penix Jr. starts a game for the Falcons? This should be a good one between you two.
Fields, yeah.
Because he's going to start game 1. Week 1.
I don't know if it's week 1.
Maybe that's who angle I heard yesterday. Was it Russell?
Yeah, it might have been Russell.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think it's Justin Fields. Because Russ is going to not cook.
Russ actually had pretty good numbers last year. Look at his numbers compared to Patty Ice. Or is it his name? Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to call him Patty Ice.
Why would you?
I think Matty Ice.
Yeah.
I don't
Not
know.
the same guy.
Not at all.
No.
Matty Ice had an MVP
really good
year.
He had a really good career. One MVP.
Yeah.
One
Don't
Super
disrespect.
Bowl win.
No. They actually lost that game. I know you turned it off at the third quarter.
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. No, I don't think Penix is going to see the field this year.
I say Justin Fields.
When Kirky Boy loses in the first round of the playoffs, then they'll go, if we had Penix in there, we would have won.
I just don't like that you don't give Kirk Cousins his just due.
See, that's the funny thing. I give him his just due.
Just due.
Exactly what I think. I think he puts up good regular season numbers that can't be questioned, but then you watch him play and you're like, wow, this guy leaves a lot to be desired. But, let me look at the stat sheet. Oh, he didn't have that bad of a game. What's my deal with him? And then the next week, the same crap happens. He just came up short. His team didn't win. But, look at his stats. Pretty good. Can't be his fault. Okay.
It's not. It's a team game, Anthony.
Listen, I liked Kirk Cousins more when he was called Derek Carr.
That is awful.
You're not going to believe this. From the 7-4, the Cardinals were actually the Browns in 1892 to 1898.
Yes.
Now listen to this.
I will.
The Browns joined the National League when the American Association folded after the 1891 season and have remained a member ever since. The team has been known as the St. Louis Cardinals since 1900. This was the Browns' final season before moving from the original Sportsman's Park to New Sportsman's Park, where they would remain until 1920 when they would return to the original Sportsman's Park.
Well,
so that's...
I'm
still a little confused here, but...
I won't hold my breath, but I'll wait for your apology.
They turned it off after they got their message.
That's fine.
Across.
I'll be here waiting for your apology. Even though I was totally joking, I didn't mean it the way it came out. I'm going to be very spiteful and vengeful here.
As we all know you can be.
Whoa.
I mean, we all can be. I can too. What the hell are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. You just said, as we know, that you can be. You
And
didn't say
I can
that-
be.
Not all of us. You said
I'm sorry.
you.
I apologize. That we all know we can be.
Okay, that's better.
Especially in this one.
Got a text from the 573. I tune in and expect perfection, not jokes, damn it.
Then you might be listening to the wrong show. I don't know. All right. Is that it for us? For what happens first? What do we do, 2?
Yeah, so here we go. Just throw this out there with the Browns thing. We got to nail this. We got to get this down.
We got to get this right.
So, St. Louis Cardinals 1900 present, St. Louis Perfectos 1899, St. Louis Browns 1892 to 1898, St. Louis Browns 1883 to 1891, that was AA. St. Louis Browns Stockings 1882, also AA. So I think Anthony
was right.
Nailed it.
Thanks, guys.
They became
everyone
Yep.
deserves, or I'm sorry, Anthony, you deserve an apology.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you on that, Marsh. You know, it's okay. We all make mistakes. That was my original point, guys.
not you.
We all make mistakes.
Not you, though.
No, I definitely do.
Not
A
here.
lot.
Not on that one, though.
Not on that
Not on this one, no.
But
I got
not
lucky.
today.
It wasn't a joke, actually.
It
You were-
wasn't a joke. I
Yep.
was spot on.
Yeah.
I know my history. I questioned it when that person that, came in off the top rope on me. I questioned myself, and I think that's the biggest issue. That's the biggest mistake I made, Carrie.
Yeah.
Was questioning myself. You know what I mean?
You never should do that.
No. Okay.
Good job.
Thanks.
Proud of you.
Why don't we... What do we got there?
See? It's not that easy, is it? To
There's
remember.
stats. We got some stats?
Oh. Well, you're looking at a board. I don't have a board to look at.
Is the promotion of statistics ruining sports? I'll tell you what's ruining sports. Next, I want to
There
win
you go.
ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. A couple of days ago, guys from PTI were talking about O'Neal Cruz, and they had a discussion about whether or not statistics, the promotion of statistics, are ruining sports. Here's the audio first, then we'll dive into the discussion.
So let me ask you something. The velo, the exit velo, does it mean he's a better hitter than Tony Gwynn, who might have dribbled the field through the infield in his day and hit about, 330 career and flirted with 400 once? Meaning a better hitter than him? And so what? So what? He's a 260 hitter. So why do I give a damn about the exit velo? I don't. Mm-hmm. And so I guess people need this, Tony, to become interested and more fascinated. And they go, oh, wow. Not only do I not go, oh, wow, it has started the ruination of watching sports for me. Numbers like this repeatedly and put up on the screen day in, day out. It has ruined it because people aren't concentrating on the fact that he is 260 instead of 330. They're concentrating on exit velo.
What do you think about Michael Wilbon's comments there?
Love it. People don't even care about batting average anymore. It's all about how hard you hit it. Did you get out? You sitting down in the dugout after you hit it 115 miles an hour right to the first baseman? Yeah, cool. Like, I want guys that hit the ball. They get on base. Those things, in my opinion, produce runs. Now, people will say, well, if you're hitting the ball hard, it's more than likely going to find – yeah, maybe. But you can also find a spot without hitting the ball like a rocket every time it comes off your bat. He brought up Tony Gwynn, one of my favorite players, because he's going to find a way to hit the ball. Mm-hmm. He's going to hit the ball and have success. Like, those are the things that excite me. Like getting on base, getting hits, putting yourself in a position to score a run, those are the things that matter. Ichiro, he was going to get on base. Was he going to hit a rocket every time he hit it? No. But he would get on base. He would find a way, find a gap, the ball would be in play, and you put yourself and your team in a position to score a run when you're on the bases. Yeah. As opposed to hitting a line shot right at somebody, and now you're sitting in the dugout waiting on your next turn. Or waiting on your next two outs so you can go out into the field and play baseball again. Mm-hmm. It does almost devalue the game because you're putting, and I think that this is part of baseball's problem, is they put so much stock into the numbers and the analytics, where you said, when I asked you earlier about batting average, is the simplest form of finding out how well a person is doing, how many at-bats you had versus how many hits you got. Yeah. How much simpler is that? That's the simplest thing that all of these analytics have. RBIs, runs scored, those things matter. I just think it takes away, the value of the game when you start putting more value into how hard a ball is being hit versus whether or not a guy got on base because of a hit.
So I think that, this reminds, like the statistical conversation reminds me of when products fail. Do the products fail because the product wasn't good enough, or did the product fail because consumers didn't understand it? I think both things can be true.
Well, if they don't understand it, then they're not gonna.
Right.
They won't buy it.
Exactly. So I think that when you think of, and I can't think off the top of my head of a product that just didn't work out because consumers didn't understand it. The bottom line is they didn't buy it. Right. Whatever it is. So some piece of technology comes out, and it's supposed to do this, that, and the other thing. Okay, great. We don't understand it. We don't buy into it. And then it falls apart. This is where I think we're at with statistics. We don't understand them. We don't understand what they're for. We don't understand why they're being used. The media, us in the media, we don't use them right, so we don't present them right. And then us as consumers don't want to buy them. We don't want to buy into it. We don't want them on our screen. Like Wilbon was saying, we don't want to be saturated with it. We don't care. That is what I think has happened here, Kerry. Statistics are just an evaluation of a player. Mm-hmm. If a guy hits the ball, if he hits a rocket 9 out of 10 times, but he only gets a hit 4 times, does that make him a worse hitter than the guy who had 10 dribbles up the third base line but got on base 8 times? No. The line drive hitter is a better hitter. But did he get on base? Did he help my team win? Did he come around to score because he got it? No. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But I would say that person that hit the dribbler up third base probably has other attributes that probably speed. Like he has
called luck.
He has other attributes that allow him to be as valuable or maybe more valuable. Because if he's hitting dribblers up the third base line and he's making it and sprinting to first base, chances are he's probably coming around to score because he's got some speed. Like, there are things that, you know, that you have that allow you to still be good at the game, that don't require you to hit the ball 112 miles off the bat every single time you're hitting the baseball. Like, is that good? Yeah. When it's in play, is it good when it's in someone's glove?
Right.
Probably not.
All I'm saying is, if we're not buying it, then they should stop selling it. That's all I'm saying. But they won't because
the numbers, in their opinion, I'm not one of those people that's smart enough to even handle. Like, I can't digest all of those numbers at once.
Nope. Not many people can.
Did he get on base? Did he score? What's the final score? Those are the numbers I need.
Sure.
Did he get a hit?
Did he help my team win?
Did he help my team win?
That's all we care about.
No,
did my team win?
But you got to see the exit velo on this guy.
Yeah, no,
that's like the guy. You know what I equate that to? I see this all the time. I see these guys that you know can jump out the gym. They are dunkers. Ooh, they dunk, and then why is he in the NBA? He can't shoot. He can't dribble.
Right, he can't.
He's
do
spectacular. Why?
Can't
Look at him
play
go
defense.
He can't do anything else.
Sure.
It's like hitting the ball hard. You hit the ball hard. Did he get on base? Can the guy make a jumper? He can dunk. He can jump out of the gym. Can he?
Right.
Can he make a pass? Can he bounce pass? Can he dribble with his left hand? You're gonna force him right every time because he force him left. He can't dribble with his left hand. Like, what else can you do?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that to me is what makes a great baseball player. Now, if you're capable of hitting line drives and smoking the ball 100+ miles an hour, and it's coming off the bat, and you're getting on base, and you come around and score,
great.
I'll clap it up for you.
Yeah.
But if not, I don't care.
Get out of my face.
Yes, please.
It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. What is Fangraphs currently saying about our Cardinals? That's next on 101 ESPN. 7:03, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Kerry Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. No Jamie Rivers today. Jamie took some time off. Head down to, I believe, a lake for Memorial Day. Brooks Gate tweeted this out. Fangraphs projected win totals preseason versus current. And it's a graphic that they shared. The Cardinals right now, if I can find this here, the Cardinals are, I may not see them.
Right-hand side.
Thank you. -4 from where they were preseason compared to now. So 83 and 79 is what Fangraphs predicted for your Cardinals coming into the year. 83 and 79. They're projected to go 79 and 83. So they're -4 from, as far as win total, from where they were in the preseason to now. 79 wins, guys.
Not great.
Not great at all. The team that they whiffed on the most, the Royals, which is understandable. They projected them for 73 wins. They're now on pace for 86. The team that they screwed up on the most, again, this one makes sense, the Marlins. Projected them for 79 wins. Not great. But now 68 is their current win total.
Tough.
Yeah.
That's not good.
So, the Cardinals, we keep talking about, they're winning games, it's exciting and all that, but they're still only projected to win 79 games this year. That makes me feel sad. Especially when you look at the Brewers, who are projected to win 84 games this year. The Pirates are projected to win 77, so only 2 less than the Cardinals. The Cubs projected to win 83 games this season. Reds are 74, so Reds look like they're going to finish in last place with the projections.
When you see these projections, do you feel like front offices not that they look at these Fangraph projections, but they probably have their own projections as well? Like, okay, yeah, we think we're going to win about 85 to 90 games this year. And then that sort of goes into how they build a roster.
I hope not.
Based on the projections?
No, not based on like Fangraph projections, but
just
maybe
look at their own projections.
Yeah, and they're like,
well,
we feel good about this team. We think we can get to this spot, and then we can make it into the playoffs because we feel as if the Brewers and the Cubs are projected to be a little bit lower than us.
Yeah,
and so we don't need to go out and get an extra starting pitcher. And now I'm not saying that that's what they do, but do you feel like maybe they are a bit content with where they're at based off of what other teams are sort of projected to do from their own mind?
That's an interesting question. I don't know. I don't know if they run their own model projections and they say, here's where we're at. If so, if that's what you're saying, like, we're good, then that makes me sad too.
I would hope you spend most of your time focusing on your own yard.
Yes.
Not the neighbors. Worrying about how you can make your team better, how you can, win more games and not so much focusing on, they got the Brewers predicted to win 86 games, so we're good.
Right. Yeah.
We're right there. I think
that'd be rough.
I think that would be a waste of time and a waste of resources. I think you should be focused on yourself.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I understand your question though. Your question's kind of like, all right, so here's what our projections are saying. We're projected to win 2 more games than the Cubs. What changes do we need to make changes, or are our projections right now have us a little bit lower than what we thought? Now we need to add something. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing that is troubling about predictions is injuries. I mean, you can have all of these numbers are based on your team being completely healthy for 162 games, which we know that is not going to happen. No one had Wilson Contreras missing 2 months with a broken forearm from a hit from a baseball bat.
Right.
Like, no one expected that. So I think it's hard you have to focus on your team and what you can do to be better and solely say, and we joke about it a lot. We say that the Cardinals don't do much because they know that the division is not supposed to be great, but I think that that's a terrible way to look at it. Like, you really have to focus on how can we be better, because the ultimate goal is not just beating the Brewers in your division. The ultimate goal is beating the Yankees in the World Series or the Boston Red Sox and whoever you end up playing. That should be the ultimate. The Dodgers in the NLCS, that should be the ultimate goal.
Yeah, and to your point, I feel like you have to understand that some teams are going to just outplay what they're supposed to do. In the National League Central, for what, the last at least 10 years, there's at least one team that has been there with you. And so you can't just go into a year thinking, well, you know, we're going to win the division because these teams are crappy. The Brewers, they got rid of their manager. They've gotten rid of a few other pieces.
Right.
No, they continue to show you that doesn't matter who they put on the field, they're going to find ways to win. And as of recent, not the last 10 games, but the last year and a half or year and however many months, too, that you've found ways to lose.
Yes, you have. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. It's interesting not being in the room and understanding what like the philosophy is for the Cardinals outside of, yes, hey, anything can happen. We just got to get in. I would love to know if they do view it as, hey, the NL Central stinks. We don't have to outrun, everybody. We just have to outrun the slowest, the slowest team. I hate that line of thinking. Mm-hmm. I think that's how the Cardinals think, but I don't know. I don't know if that's a fact or not. I think it's a horrible way to look at things.
Well, they kind of tell us, though, when they say, yeah, if we win the division, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So that is where you're setting your standard.
That makes me angry.
Doesn't that make you, throw up a little bit in your mouth?
Oh, totally, because to Marsh's point, so Marsh said, 30 seconds ago about how this team, and I've made this point too, this team over the years has only really had to beat one team. There was 1 year, maybe 2 years, some outliers where you had two, right? Where you had the Cubs, the Brewers, and
even the Pirates.
But it's always been either the Reds or the Brewers or the Cubs or the Pirates for 2 years. The Pirates are 2 years. You only really had to beat one other team, and you could say, well, isn't that how it is in other divisions? No, not all of them. Usually, you have two teams that you're competing with in other divisions. Yeah. This one, historically and consistently, one team. Yeah. And your thought process has been, we just got to win the division, we're good. No. You're setting such a low bar for your roster.
And again, like I said,
sick.
Because even if you win the division, you got to play other teams. Like, you got to beat the Braves at some point. You got to beat the Dodgers.
They're like,
you got to beat the Phillies. Like, just to get out of the league and make it into the World Series, like, you have to beat those teams. So if you're only focused on just being good enough because, the Reds, we don't have to worry about them. We don't have to worry about the Brewers. We don't have to worry. If that's your main focus, yeah, maybe you will make it out and win the division. But what are you going to do after that?
Yeah.
And I think the line of thinking needs to change now that there's 3 wild card teams, because now you're only in a 2-game series. Anything can happen, or not a 2-game series, but a 3-game series.
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
You got to win 2. Anything can happen, and we saw that against the Phillies.
Absolutely.
You, at least right now, I believe if it's not going to be World Series as our standard, it has to at least be we want to get one of the top 2 spots so we can get home field advantage for that division series and maybe even the LCS. But we want a little time off, too. We want to see who we're going to play, and we're not putting ourselves in a position to where it has to come down to a 3-game series. We want to get that 5-game series.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
we can showcase what we have over more games.
You would think that would be you think that would be the thought process on that. All right, why has a full rebuild become less trendy? We'll get in that next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Kerry, and if you're a contractor or you own a business that needs recycling, then you need to learn more about my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. Scrap Mart understands that job site cleanup for contractors can be a mess, but if you set up a business account with them, they can help you recycle that metal. It's one less thing you have to do during cleanup. If you own heavy equipment, you understand how frustrating it is, often having to repair it over and over and over again. Eventually, it's going to break down completely, and you're going to have to get rid of it. Scrap Mart will come get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you'd like to, you can haul it yourself. They have 3 convenient locations, Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. It's recycling made easy. They offer a convenient drive-on scale, and they have the highest payout. You will always get top dollar for your scrap metals. Just visit them at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. Again, that's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell them Kerry sent you.
You're losing anyway, but nobody wants to say we're rebuilding.
And the third wild card complicates matters because you look at the Cardinals and you see how poorly they have played, although the past week they actually inched up in the stands a little bit. If you're just looking at it that way, you say, yeah, deal Goldschmidt, deal Arenado, bring up Walker, bring up Victor Scott, the speedster who's the next Vince Coleman, they think, and just go with that. But they're right on the cusp of the playoffs, and they have a fan base that wants to have some hope.
But you never do it well enough where you come back to be a pennant-winning team or a World Series
You're
champion.
absolutely correct, but that carrot of the third wild card, and especially knowing what's happened with wild card teams, like the Padres, like the Diamondbacks, it's an incentive not to do what in the big picture maybe you should do.
All right, so the voices that you heard there were Brian Kenny and Bob Costas. Mad Dog Russo was also there as well. They're talking about rebuilds. First of all, I think Bob Costas, not surprisingly, he nailed the thought process here in St. Louis. Cardinals fans want to see a winner. They want to see their teams in the playoffs. They don't want to see a rebuild. I also think Brian Kenny played into what Brian Kenny typically does. Brian Kenny only thinks about kind of like the practical sense of it all. Practically, you're not good enough to do X, Y, and Z, so why not rebuild? The problem with what Brian Kenny is saying, though, is that there is no guarantee for that. You're only talking about percentages. Percentage-wise, if you rebuild now, in 3 years, you'll have a better chance to win. Okay, but there's no guarantee of it. So why don't you continue to do what you just said, Kerry, build upon what you've started, You don't have to do a complete teardown, but you do have to get better. So what are the areas you need to get better at? You need a better starting pitching staff. And you also need those guys. Aces are drafted and developed. I know there's Garrett Coles, and I know there's some outliers. I get that. You know, Zach Wheeler's bounced around a couple times now. There's always outliers. However, typically, aces are developed. So that to me is where you have to start. That doesn't entail a full rebuild. It entails you holding on to the damn pitchers that you actually drafted and developed instead of giving them away for Marcell Ozuna for 2 years.
Is it a rebuild if you're essentially trading? Because we're talking about 3 players, in my opinion. If you were to start over, air quotes, start over, you would be talking about probably 3 players that you would be moving on from.
Goldschmidt, Helsley, and Arenado.
That's it.
Yeah, Lynn and Gibson would also be part of it, but
they're much older. And,
you don't have to yell at me. I got what you're saying.
Yeah, so if you're starting over, air quotes, you're really only moving on from 3 players, which could really change the entire future of the organization. If that's the choice that you chose, if that's the choice you made.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's that terrible of an idea. If you were in the position that you needed to reset some things.
Yeah.
And I think the rebuild would happen much quicker because what you're going to get in return for Nolan Arenado, what you're going to get in return for Ryan Helsley, what you would get in return for Paul Goldschmidt if he starts hitting the ball at the level we've known him to for one season, a team that just, we need that bat. You could really be looking at a rebuild that could be much quicker than a 3 to 5 year process. It could be 1 to 2 years. If those younger players perform at the level. I think Alec Burleson has shown you he's capable of it. I think Brendan Donovan has shown you he's capable of it. Mason Wynn is showing you that he's capable of it. Is Lars Newbar, is Nolan Gorman, is Jordan Walker, are they capable of doing it consistently? If they are, well, what the hell are we talking about?
Right.
Wilson Contreras, when he's healthy, that to me sounds like a lineup coupled with some aces starting pitching and some things in the bullpen that could really help you be not just a team that wins the division and is an 83 to 85 win team.
Yeah.
We're talking 90, 95, 90, 92, 95 wins, in my opinion.
You're right. I mean, this is a situation. The more you talk, the more you kind of outline some of these guys. It's just about pitching. It's about starting pitching, young, cost control, top end starting pitching. Not guys like, no offense to them, but like Dakota Hudson and who's the other guy that used to run out all the time? It's always Dakota Hudson and
which one? Andre
Woodford.
Palante.
No, Jake Woodford.
Before that, it was John Gant.
Right, like. Have guys that you know could be at the top end of your rotation. I realize that that's it's not like shopping down at Aldi. It's down aisle 3. Just find the starting pitchers there. I get that.
Aldi's a good store.
But believe it or not, Kerry. Believe it or not, Kerry, other teams are doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they are developing young stud pitching. Or they're finding it. They're bad teams and they're finding it. The frickin' Royals are finding top-end pitching. You're the St. Louis Cardinals. You should be able to find top-end pitching, either in your organization, in the drafts.
Or if you can't do it yourself, you can trade for it.
That's what I'm saying.
The Dodgers seem to do it pretty well.
Yeah.
Year after year.
But the Dodgers also, Walker Buehler. I mean, Julio Urias before he ran into off-season.
That's what I'm saying. You
off-field
can
issues.
Trade for it with them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Acquire the Dodgers.
Yeah. You don't have to do the work.
Dodgers develop those guys, and then we'll bring them in.
There you go.
We'll try not to ruin them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought. It is interesting, going back to that whole, like, rebuild or retool. I've also thought about this idea of, how many times are you trading with bad teams? Bad teams don't know what they're doing.
No.
When you are a seller, typically you're selling to contenders. So Baltimore, from a draft standpoint, they know what they're doing. You hope that if you make enough deals with the Orioles, they're going to give you something, good in return. I wouldn't deal with the Rays because if the Rays don't want that guy, then that's telling you everything, i.e. Matthew Liberatore. You know what I mean? Like if you're making a deal with the Rays, although Andrew Kittredge has been good, but he wasn't a prospect. He He was
You already
somebody.
saw it.
He's a major league. Yeah, you've already seen him at the big league level. But dealing with teams that know how to draft and develop when you're a seller is a huge advantage. You just don't want to be seller too much, as it is. But I don't know. I just don't. I don't see the Cardinals ever fully rebuilding.
I just think that, but I don't know that that's, to me, that feels more like a retool, which goes back to the question I asked you earlier. Would you rather them not be good at the trade deadline and make some of those moves, and then you're in a position with the youth that you have, and some of Wilson Contreras is a veteran, Brendan Donovan is a veteran, Lars Nootbaar is on the cusp, I guess, of young guy / veteran. Your team has made a shift, and you are much better because of it.
Right.
And I'm on the fence. Like, if you're going, this is how I feel. If you're going to just barely be right there and maybe not make the playoffs, then go ahead, make the moves.
Yeah.
Then that's again why I continue to say I'm not going to be excited until they're over 500.
I get you.
Because middling is going to get you nothing.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Do you think that's what they would do?
No.
Okay.
Which is why
you and I are on the same page.
You got to have some fortitude here. You got to have some gumption. See it. Envision it.
Some risk. Don't be risk averse.
Yeah.
Take some risk.
And I don't know if it's a risk. If you're moving on from older gentlemen, bringing younger guys in that are really good, supposed to be, what are you missing out on?
We got a text from the 618. Why do we talk about Goldie like he's a scrub? We wouldn't be talking about Yachty, our Albert, like that. He's a future Hall of Famer.
Okay, yeah, no, he's a future Hall of Famer. He's fantastic. He's done so much in Major League Baseball. He's incredible.
But there's a reason why you don't say that about Yachty. Because he was homegrown. He was yours from the start.
But I'm interpreting what they're saying is like, why are we disrespecting Goldie?
I assumed it was because we wouldn't say that about Yachty or Albert because they were homegrown.
We've criticized,
but
Yachty
nobody was trying to trade him.
We try to trade Goldie because he's 30-something years old and he would still have value. You wouldn't trade Yachty because of what he meant to the organization.
You wouldn't trade Yachty because he's probably one of the best catchers to ever play the game.
I don't want to freak out here. Are you putting Yachty and Goldie in the same category and Albert in the same category as what they meant to the organization?
Sounds like it.
Because if that's the case, then I don't know. I don't know if I could say anything to convince you otherwise. Or are you just upset because we're in your opinion, we're disrespecting Paul Goldschmidt? I'm viewing him as, and I'm sorry, this is just how it goes, but I'm viewing Goldie as an asset. A year ago, I would have dealt him because he probably could have got you something good to set you up for the future. Players are assets for an organization.
And the good organizations, as much as a former player, I understand this. As much as we hate it, the good organizations trade your butt before you're not a good asset anymore.
Correct.
A year before you hit the point where Paul Goldschmidt is hit right now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who you are. Joe Montana played for another team. You know.
And how'd the 49ers do?
Then they won the championship.
They won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So Tom Brady played for another team. Like it's Peyton Manning played for another team. Like at some point you move on and you try to figure out how to continue to be successful despite getting rid of your best players or what were once your best players.
And I wouldn't have traded Yachty because of all of the things that you got with the pitching staff too. His ability to command the pitching staff.
Right.
He was an extra coach on the field. It's not, to me, it's not the same.
And Albert played for another team as well.
Yeah, and Albert did too. Yes.
Bottom line is that Yachty and Albert won titles here, and they're legends in St. Louis.
And what happens with that, Marshy?
Legends never die,
Yes. Nice job, Marshy. I don't know if you're setting yourself up. Sounds like you were. And you deserve a slow cut.
You know what he was doing.
Well done, Marsh. All right, that's Andrew Marsh. It's Kerry Davis.
Guys, he knew He was doing
He's
the whole time.
Beat the streak, biggest question of the day. We do need a new Beat the Streak contestant. So if you want to text in Beat the Streak or BTS, 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. Have an opportunity to play Beat the Streak with us next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take on the Cubs tonight. 7:15 first pitch. Miles Michaelis going up against Shota Imanaga. If you've missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tonight, we'll have the Florida Panthers going up against the New York Rangers. Game 2 of that series as Florida leads the series 1-0. Pre-game for that one starts at 6:30. Coming up next, though, we have Beat the Streak and Biggest Question of the Day. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Time to play Beat the Streak here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Kerry Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. We welcome in Brian for Beat the Streak. What's up, Brian?
Not much. How's it going?
Going pretty well, thank you, sir. Marsh, I know you just gave me the order, but what's the current streaks?
Okay, so Jamie is in first place right now. He has a current streak of 5. Kerry has a current streak of 1. Anthony, your streak is back to 0 after Gunnar Henderson did not record a hit. Michael Ciani did not record a hit, so I am at 0. And then Justin picked Nolan Arenado, and he did not get a hit either, so that is why Brian is in today.
Okay. So Jamie's up first, and he texted us Burleson, correct?
Yes.
All right, so Burleson is off the board. CD, you're up.
I'm going to go with Mason Wynn. I should have picked him for my home run because he's going to hit a leadoff home run today.
Okay.
Start the game off the right way.
I like that.
Yep. Got an 11-game hitting streak.
All right.
Started off early.
Nice.
Yeah. I think so.
Why don't you go ahead and give me Cody Bellinger?
Oh, where you going with the Cubs?
Yeah, that's correct.
Why would you do that?
Because I don't want to go up against Shota Imanaga.
That's
just a thought.
Same line of thinking for me.
You gotta stop it. You hush your mouth.
We'll stop nothing.
What are you guys doing, huh?
I'm going to go with exactly Nico Horner.
Nico Horner, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian.
Well, he's on my fantasy, so I need him to do something. Give me, if you would help me finish, Anthony. Give me Nolan Arenado. Thank you, sir.
There you go, Brian. All right, so Jamie's got Alec Burleson. CD's got Mason Wynn. I took Cody Bellinger. Marsh took Nico Horner. And Brian took, go ahead, Brian.
Nolan Arenado.
Brian, good luck to you, man. Have a great weekend.
You too. Do the same, guys. Enjoy the holiday.
Yeah, thanks, brother. We'll see you. All right, see ya. That's Beat the Streak here on 101 ESPN. Gator, Anthony went with the Cubby. Weak. I go with the other team all the time. Come on, Gator. You know that. You're a loyal listener.
Let him know, Gator.
Oh, stop.
I do too. Just not today.
Yeah. Not tonight. All right, Marsh. Fire it off.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, so we got a question from the 314, sort of jumping off from that Paul Goldschmidt conversation we were just having. From 314, you really think the Cardinals would pay somebody to take Goldschmidt because that's what it would require for any team to take him? What do you think his trade value is right now, and could it get better if he continues to progress like what we've seen in the past few days, week or so? The Cardinals are playing better. If the Cardinals were to be sellers at the deadline,
you don't have to pay anybody to take on Goldschmidt's. So he's a rental at this point, so there's no that wouldn't be the case. Now, if he's terrible, you're not going to get much for him. But you're not going to have to pay. There's nothing left on his deal
after this year.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, that's a non-starter. Again, though, are you getting anything in return that's decent? If he's struggling, no.
That's probably more the concern than the finance. Money.
Here's the bottom line: you would get more from for Ryan Helsley than you would for Paul Goldschmidt. Even if Paul Goldschmidt were ripping a cover off the ball at the time, you would still get more prospect currency for Ryan Helsley. There's two reasons for that. One, there's going to be more of a market for Ryan Helsley. In other words, there's going to be more teams bidding for Ryan Helsley's services to be their closer than there will be for Paul Goldschmidt. There won't be, as I smack my mic, there won't be, countless teams looking for a first baseman while also being in contention.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. There's going to be a bigger market for Helsley. Two, Helsley's under contract for next year. Yep. You got to go through arbitration and all that, but you would still. Helsley's not a rental. Right. Goldschmidt would be. So if you're serious about selling, Helsley, you would have to sell off with Helsley.
What about a package deal?
See, I think
would you get more?
I think you'd get less. Believe it or not. Yep. I think you'd get less. I think this is why GMs often separate the two.
Mm-hmm.
That way they can get more bites at the apple. They can drum up more interest.
Yeah.
You did that last year with the Rangers, where you coupled the two. Who was it? It was Montgomery and Stratton, right?
Yeah,
separate.
That was both the Rangers.
Yep.
And Stratton also came from the Pirates for Jose Quintana, and you gave up Johan Oviedo. But I think ultimately, if you separate the two, you should get more theoretically. As opposed to, hey, it's a 2-for-1. It's a package deal.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
But
so those are my thoughts on Helsley.
I agree.
And Goldschmidt, for that matter.
I think, again, and Helsley is a year is younger.
Sure.
Not a year younger. He's a few years younger than Goldschmidt. I just think that whatever you get, and we're talking, again, I know people listen to us and they're like, they want the Cardinals to lose so they can be traders, sellers at the trade deadline.
No,
that's not, we want them to win.
Yes.
But if they are going to lose, you can get really good really fast.
Potentially, yeah. You get the right people.
Yep.
Same texter texted back saying Goldie will still be owed $13 million come July. Anthony, you're just wrong. You would absolutely have to pay that to get somebody to take him.
Then why trade him?
I think that's what that texter is saying.
Okay, let me take a step back then. It's either one of two things. Either you pay some of that contract and get a better prospect in return, or you give up nothing in terms of the salary, say, I'm not going to take anything off the contract, and you get a worse prospect. So, texter, you're right in the line of thinking of you could have to pay some, but you're not going to just give him up while also paying some of that salary. Usually teams have a choice. Here's prospect A. It's a better prospect, but you're going to have to eat some of the salary. Or here's prospect D, because we're going to take on most of the salary, if not all of it. That's typically how that works.
Are they saying the $13 million that's left on the contract, they're saying the Cardinals would, he's getting $26 million a year. And I mean, how money works, you usually get paid during the season, so he's probably going to have half of that paid up,
which is what they're saying, the $13 million or whatever.
Do you think that the Cardinals are going to pay the rest of the $13 million while the other team pays nothing?
They may use that as an incentive to get more of a to get a bigger prospect.
I don't think that they would pay the entire remainder of the salary.
They may say, no, it's not going to be no. But let's just say they pay most of it.
Okay, $7 million.
Then they get they'll get a better prospect in return.
You can handle $8 million for the rest of the season if that was the case. But
I may have misread your text. When you read that initially, I'm not. I was assuming that you were saying they're going to absolutely have to pay the $13 million to get Goldschmidt out of here. That's not. If I misread you, I apologize. But both things are, they'll have an option here when it comes to either paying the majority of the salary, getting a better prospect, or paying none of it and getting a worse prospect. teams aren't going to. They're not going to mind paying $13 million if they give you a lesser known prospect. They'd rather pay the money and give you a prospect that they know isn't going to hurt them down the road.
Oh, didn't see that coming.
Nice.
Didn't see it coming.
This is all for Nod. As the Cardinals will head into the deadline being buyers because they will be in a playoff spot right in the running to win the division. Maybe the third wild card.
No.
Okay.
In the playoffs nonetheless. And they will not trade Paul Goldschmidt, so this conversation does not matter.
All right. There you have it. Straight from Andrew the Cardinal Marshy. Here on 101 ESPN.
This is what happens when you go to 3 baseball games
in a week.
Yeah, you start to actually believe.
You start to love it. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We've got Fade or Follow. Do we have a new contestant? Need one?
No, we do. We do. Captain Insano is going to join us.
Excellent. So bet the board, 3 stars of the day, criticisms, compliments next. Now it's the time. If you need new doors, to give Mosby Building Arts a call. Doors now, pay later. That's the current promotion that they have going on at Mosby Building Arts. 5% off or no payments for 1 year. Again, 5% off doors or no payments for 1 full year. The promotion runs throughout June, so call now to book your appointment with Mosby at 314-909-1800. You can also visit their website, callmosby.com. We're not just talking about front doors, so they come in a variety of materials, including wood, fiberglass, steel, and aluminum. Each material offers different advantages in terms of durability, insulation, and aesthetics, but also garage doors. They can be customized to match the style of your home, and they can complement its exterior design. At Mosby Building Arts, you can use kind of their customization options, which include panel designs and window inserts, decorative hardware, and paint colors. Mosby Building Arts gives you plenty of options when it comes to interior, exterior, and garage doors. So give them a call again right now at 314-909-1800 or visit callmosby.com. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
for FanDuel Fade or Follow on the Fast Lane.
Brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more.
Everyone follow us.
No fade.
Money, 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 money.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Kerry Davis, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. We welcome in Captain Insano, otherwise known as Andrew. What's up, Andrew?
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. We have one for you that we really love tonight. Jamie is also on board. I don't know if this matters to you, but for Fade or Follow, our selection tonight, the Florida Panthers to get it done in New York, Madison Square Garden, Game 2. So we're taking the Panthers minus 114. Would you like to fade that pick or follow it?
I'm going to follow it. I'm going to go with the team.
There you are. Nice job. Excellent. All right, so you have the Panthers. If the Panthers win, then you come back next Friday and you're up 50 bones. Sound good?
Sounds great. Talk to you then.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate you
guys
playing.
Have a great holiday weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yep, take care, guys.
All right, there you have it. Of course, you're going to follow that, right?
You should.
I love it. All right, if you...
Kachuk?
What's that?
Matthew Kachuk?
Yeah, darn right you are.
Should. Why
All right.
not?
Don't yell at me.
I'm not yelling.
Okay.
I just got confused, though. I was thinking about the movie Captain Underpants when he said Captain Insano.
Oh, yeah, no.
Captain Underpants, great book.
Great book.
A series of
Great
books,
movie.
actually. The
Awesome.
Perilous Plot of Professor Poopy Pants.
yeah.
That was one of my
Wow.
favorites.
Okay. Yeah, good stuff, boys.
Times I've watched that. Plenty. I got kids.
Fair.
He's just watching Bluey. He doesn't get any Captain Underpants.
No, that's true.
Did you
I
know
love
that
Bluey, though.
actually when you snap, I believe it's when you snap, that's when he turns into Captain Underpants. He's actually the mean principal.
He is.
And in order to get Captain Underpants to turn back into his normal self, you got to throw water on him.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that. That's interesting.
Good series. Good movie.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com, your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Let's bet the board now, gentlemen. Marsh.
What are the
Go ahead and update those standings.
What do we
kid.
have going on here, huh, guys? Huh?
Anthony, you were in the lead, 10-7.
Yes.
You won last night? Good for you.
I'm 9-8.
Under.
9-8.
Game.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Carrie, you're 7-10. You're inchworming your way back into this one, and Jamie is 6-11.
Oh, he lost last night?
He did.
Oh, sorry about that, man. That stinks. All right. He also sent in his pick, which he's in dead last, but he took the Panthers. I would have loved to take the Panthers, but no, you go ahead. You're dead last. You earned it.
Is that what you were going to say?
What place is he in? Dead last? Yeah, he's done real well. Yeah, I was going to take the Panthers, but go ahead, Jamie. You need it.
I'm struggling today. I don't know what I'm going to pick.
I'm going to take the over in that Panthers-Rangers game. I know that it was a 3-0 final, but I think there's way more scoring to be had there. So over 5.5 goals for me in that Panthers-Rangers game.
Oh, man, I hate to do this, but this guy
boy.
has been incredible all season so far.
What do you got, Marsh?
Give me Shota Imanaga over 5.5 strikeouts. That does not mean that the Cardinals will lose, though, because a bullpen is a thing in Major League Baseball. And I think the Cardinals can get to the Cubs bullpen.
You just showed it right in everybody's faces there.
It was
Nice
a crap
work.
sandwich. It really was.
It
but
certainly was.
Anthony, I mean, I'm down one. This guy.
I know. I
gotta do what I gotta do.
Yes, you do.
I am going to take Kyrie Irving over 22.5.
Okay.
Tonight.
There you go. But not tonight. All right, so there is Bet the Board. There's Fade or Follow. Marsh, what do you got for criticisms and compliments?
So we have a criticism from the 314. Marsh, I travel every week for work. I listen to you guys daily via the app.
Thank you.
If you want to use it as a criticism, I just left Anthony's hometown of Atlanta.
And? Is that it?
That was
Criticism.
it.
Oh, okay.
I think the criticism was the city of Atlanta.
What the heck? Atlanta's an awesome city.
It is.
Kerry lived there for
I did.
a while. I think Jamie did too, didn't he?
I believe so.
Or maybe not.
He played for everybody.
He did, but I don't think he played for the Thrashers.
Thrashers?
Maybe
he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he lived there too.
He always talks about Atlanta.
That's right. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Everybody back off.
Here's one from the 636. Compliments and criticisms. Thanks for another great week, boys. Have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Nice. Yes. And everybody, too. Thank you. Thank you for listening all week. Thank you for, chiming in and being a part of the show with us. And everybody have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. Should be a great one. Let's remember why we celebrate, too. Memorial Day.
636, compliments to the Fast Lane and the whole 101 ESPN station to another great week of programming and leading us into this holiday weekend. You guys be safe and have a great long weekend.
Oh, we'll do.
We appreciate that. Absolutely.
Looking forward to
Yeah. All right. What do you got for our stars?
Yes, our third star of the day, a late edition, but it has to go to Captain Underpants.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That was a real late edition.
You got to check out Captain Underpants.
I will.
Yeah. Yeah, have the boys.
Great superhero. I know, Anthony, you're into that stuff.
Cartoon.
Yeah.
I love it.
Our second star of the day is going to go to an actress who was in the movie Double Jeopardy. That's Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd makes an appearance on the show. All right.
All right. And our first star of the day goes to a great companion, one who is not alive, but definitely helped one person get through a very messy situation. That was Wilson the volleyball.
Wilson the volleyball. Yes. Good call on that, Marsh. Good call on that. Everybody have a great weekend. We appreciate you. Rangers-Panthers pregame coming up in a half hour. We got an instant replay coming up now. For Andrew Marsh, for Kerry Davis, for Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Staltzer. See ya.